here we go.
You really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Hey, motherfucker. What do you like to do?
Oh, I don't know. Play chess. Screw.
Well, let's play chess.
They give off to Jonathan Taylor. Jump cutting his way. Close to the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown. I-N-D-Y. Jonathan Taylor.
Wheeler finds Quan from the logo.
Here's Halliburton into the front court. Mishandled it, but gets a shot. Hits it. Hits it.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Goodness gracious, is that the longest show open in the history of radio? JMV, if you're out there listening to this, we got to tighten that up. This is The Ride, but without JMV. It's me, Chris Hagan, your buddy from Fox 59. And unlike John, we're not wasting time. We're getting right to it. Rinus VeeKay back for his 7th Indy 500. It seems like just yesterday you were just a kid out here as a rookie, and now look at you, old grown up. You got a beard, looking good. How exciting is this week for you each and every year?
Oh, yeah, it's very exciting. I actually had a beard as a rookie as well. So
maybe I have a bad memory. Maybe the
I
beard
shaved it for the 500.
Just, okay.
I wanted to look young. But no, it's I do feel experienced around this place after 6 attempts and now having my 7th. It's very special. It feels like coming home, but yeah, definitely. Even though I'm still so young, I feel like like this is the race we got to win.
What are you, 25 now?
25 years old.
Good grief. What's from the start, though? You qualify well out here. You run well. Is it just a situation where some drivers adapt really well to certain tracks, and this is just one of those for you?
Yeah, I think so. I've always had a good feel here. And of course, I started here with Ed Carpenter racing as well, which they know their way around this place. So, yeah, it's just been very comfortable every time I got into the car here. Of course, last year with Dale Coyne was a bit less comfortable. Qualified on the last row and had a bit of a tough race, but that's also the experience that you will need to be in contention to win the 500. Because to win the 500, I don't think anybody knows what the actual, steps are. Sometimes it just happens, but being in contention is the goal here, and I think we've got a good shot.
How frustrating, you did well, but losing Saturday and having all the qualifying on Sunday, you still did well, but did that upset your expectations at all?
I don't think so. You want to get it over with. That's kind of how it is. So having it done on Saturday gives you a bit more time. Right now was a different thing as well because you had one shot at it. Right. Basically, if it didn't go well, they done. So I thought it was quite high pressure, but we all survived it. Everybody's starting. We're starting to race anyway because there's 33 cars this year, and honestly, you can win this race from almost any position.
Talking to Rinus VeeKay, Juncos Hollinger, is that how I say that right? Do you say Juncos Hollinger?
Yeah.
And you got a little bit with Dry and Reinbold too. They're kind of a partnership deal, right?
Yes, for the 500. That's a new thing this year where we're having a technical alliance for the 500. So two teams teaming up to hopefully get one of 3 cars over the checkered flag, over the Brickyard first after 500 miles.
You're always a great interview. I can only imagine how you'd be if you win the 500. That would be a crazy scene. Let's get to the bottom of this. I'm an investigative journalist, as you well know. Rinus VeeKay, not your real name.
No, that's true.
Nobody knows how to say. Is that explain the story? Say your real name and explain how you became Rinus VeeKay.
So my real last name is Van Kalmthout. It's long. It's Dutch. Even Dutch people struggle with it. So actually, Kalmthout is a town in Belgium. Very random.
Kalmthout.
So Rinus from that town in Belgium.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So that's how we did last names, I guess, in the Netherlands. So yeah, it's a tough name. It doesn't roll off the tongue very very smoothly. So coming to the U.S., VeeKay, Van Kalmthout.
Yeah.
Basically taking the first 2 letters, and that was kind of the idea. We didn't do much more than that.
It sounds cool, though. It sounds cool. It looks good on a shirt, too.
Well, but then VeeKay, it's 2 letters. It's not a name.
Right.
And a journalist, he kind of wrote it out, a Dutch journalist, because kind of that's how it was supposed to sound. I'm like, oh, that's actually – show me that. I'm like, hey, look at this. That's pretty cool. So we took that, and, that's kind of how it is. I feel like new fans struggle to say Rinus because it rhymes with something that you're not supposed to say. But so they always call me VeeKay.
You know, Alex Palou, that's not his real last name.
Montalvo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's his mom's name. I think Palou is his dad's.
A lot of these drivers flying under the radar with fake names. Okay, I know you got other interviews to do, and this is like a crazy time because it's unlike any other race. Quickly, where you're starting, your expectations, and obviously you've learned over the years you can't win the race on the first lap, but you can surely lose it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm starting 11th. Just take one away from 11th and you're first. I think we have a car. I feel like we have a top 5 car. At that point, sometimes at the end of the race after 500 miles, there's some names you don't really expect up there that got through all the chaos. There's some of the best cars that are out of the race or, they had some issues in pit lane or whatever. So my goal is to be in contention to race around in that top 5 at the end of the race. And at that point, we'll find out if we have pace, if, we have the arsenal of weapons that we need to fight for that win. And, just making sure we're in that race, at the front of the pack, battling at the end. That's my goal.
Well, it's always been great to talk to you from day one as a rookie, and I believe there's a 500 win in your future, and maybe it's this year. Thanks for the time, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Rinus van Klampentout. Say it again. Van
Klampentout.
So it flows off the tongue easy. All right, they're going to take you to do more boring interviews. Hopefully this wasn't the most boring one of the day.
No, it's pretty fun.
Awesome.
I think it's good.
All right, Rinus, watch him work in the 76 machine come race day. Now he's going to go answer some other dumb questions. Thanks, brother. We'll see you. Hey, we got to check on the weather because everybody's watching. Rinus and the whole crew. Let me get Brian Wilks on the horn here. He is going to call us in, and let me get him this. We're producing on the fly, by the way, because next thing you know, JMV is telling me he needs me to come in here. Here I am, a dumb TV guy, and let's face it, I don't know what I'm doing. Here's a fun fact, though, as we wait on Brian to call. We're going to have drivers. It's media day out here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So usually we'll set the stage and say, hey, we're going to have this driver, we're going to have this driver, we're going to have this. But I don't know. They're going to come at us one at a time, and they'll sit in, we'll jump in, we'll talk, we'll get it done. James is going to keep this thing flowing. We're going to have what are we, 3 days away now until the 110th running. Some other cool things that have happened this week that I'll tell you about. We on Tuesday night, I emceed a screening premiere of the new Bobby Rahal documentary as we talk about and look back on 40 years ago when he won the 1986 Indy 500, the 70th running, and just the behind-the-scenes story. Jim Truman, his owner, was hanging on for dear life, literally battling cancer. The race got moved back a week because of rain. Truman would pass away just 11 days, I believe, was the number after Bobby won that 500. And just the story behind the scenes. It's amazing. I mean, now you have there's video of anything. People these days, these young kids, they say, hey, you want to see a video of my first birthday? And the day after my first birthday, here's a video of me, the day I learned how to whistle. But back in my day, there's no video of anything I did, which I think is maybe good because I like to believe I was the greatest third-grade football player of all time. Now, if I saw video of me as a third grader, maybe that would ruin my memory. So I think there's good things. You don't want to see the cold, hard facts. You don't want to see the reality of what your life was like. But, yeah, so somehow back in 86, they have all this video. They have all this behind-the-scenes stuff, and then they actually have some audio of Bobby's dad talking about the beginning of his racing career and how he'd gone to college, and that was kind of not something that happened back. You didn't have a lot of college graduates that were racing back in the days. So a great story. You can see that. I believe it's streaming now on Fox. You can see it, and it's called Bobby Rahal True American Racer. I got to MC that, and I thought, I MC a bunch of stuff. And I say, this is I'll just show up and MC. And I got there. I didn't realize what a big deal it was going to be. It was this huge theater at Newfields, and my boss was there, which made it I don't care really if I go screw up something, but when my boss is there, you're like, oh, this might haunt me. But it went okay. Danica Patrick afterwards said, and I quote as I'm walking out, she said, hey, you were actually funny. Now, is that a compliment? Does that mean I'm not ever funny, but on that one occasion I actually was funny? So I took it as a compliment. So, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I did it. But then last night, and we're about to play a little clip from this. James, can you tell me, do we have the Kyle Larson thing ready to go, my chat with Kyle Larson? 1 second, he says. Hey, James, when you talk, do people hear you on the radio, or I just hear you?
I have multiple options. I can talk over the air like this, or I can talk directly to you so they can't hear me.
I like it when you talk over the air so people don't think I'm just talking to myself. And let me know when Brian Wilks calls in, Fox 59 meteorologist, the finest in the business. He's going to call in and we're going to talk weather. But right now I'm going to tell you about, on Prime, you can stream now Kyle Larson versus the double. Now, originally, when he did the double the first time, okay, let's go to Brian first, then we'll come back to Kyle Larson. Let's bring him in. You know him. You love him. You can't live without him. We're catching him before his 70 hits on Fox 59 on the news. He's meteorologist extraordinaire. Brian Wilks, how you doing, buddy?
Spell that, Chris. What are you doing working a part-time job again, for crying out loud?
What am I doing? And then I had to sit through the longest.
Sweet tea so much it's running over your budget.
Sweet tea don't pay for itself. Let's get it rolling, Brian. This is where you make your real money. Everyone's wondering. I like to watch you on the news. You're talking about the European model, the American model, the Czechoslovakian model. Let's break it down for the idiots that listen to JMV show every day. What are we looking at, not only for race day, but another huge day tomorrow, Carb Day?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Carb Day, Chris, I think is the most problematic because the rain shield is moving up from southern Indiana in the morning. So if you're going to Carb Day, I'd get out there early, and I do feel that is the day of all of the days that are impacted by race activities that would be impactful the most by rainfall. It looks like the rain's probably going to start sneaking in as we get to late morning, early afternoon. So I'm a lot more pessimistic about Carb Day than I am about race day. Even for Saturday, the parade, I do feel that we're going to get away from the rain Saturday morning. And if we're going to get any showers on Sunday, and I really like the trends here, and we're talking about the long-range models. You have long-range models that go out 16 days. Then you get these medium-range forecasts that start to show you 5-6 days out. And then you start pounding these machines with short-term forecast models, what we call CAMs models. They're convective allowing. They factor in more things. They're higher resolution. And they're starting to stray away from any real significant rain until later in the day on Sunday. So right now I'm really optimistic about race day. I'm very, very favorable about Saturday. Tomorrow, I think, is the big bugaboo, and that would be perhaps late morning or early afternoon.
Because we have the festivities, we have Pit Stop Challenge, we got the big concert with Counting Crows. By the way, I know you love to sing. What's your favorite? Give me a little bit of your favorite Counting Crow song.
Mr. Jones and me.
That's why you got to love Brian. I knew he would not. I knew you wouldn't go, I'm not singing. I don't want to do that. All right, so the bottom line, based on what we looked at,
to do on Friday. Yeah.
We feel like Friday might be some trouble, but we're looking positive on race day. And that's really a big forecast for Catherine Legg. She wants to do the double, and of course, weather was a factor for Kyle Larson trying to pull that off. So the quicker we can get this race going and over with is going to aid her efforts as well. All right, Brian, how many hits you got scheduled Chris. Coming up from? How many hits you doing on the TV coming up from 5?
I don't know. It's a Jerry Lewis telethon every day. Just tune in. We'll laugh. We'll cry. The balloons will drop.
And then Ed McMahon will say, show me the tote board. All right.
That's right.
All right, Brian. Brian Wilks, Fox 59 is the guy. He'll be on TV, and I'll see you back in studio coming up later. All right, Brian Wilks says that's what we need to know. Down to the second, we're breaking this thing down. Carb Day, bring your what do you call those things? Poncho, a slicker, something to get on with the rain coverage. All right, as before Brian called and ruined my intro to Kyle Larson, he did the double 2 years. It was going to be a 7-month. He's going to have a film crew with him for 7 months, and then it turned into 2 years. They covered the double twice. Great documentary. It's dropped now. So if you want to watch it, jump on there. Right now, let's take a listen. I talked to Kyle Larson on the red carpet about excited to have this documentary finally out there. Let's listen.
It's cool to finally see it all, come together and everybody getting to see it now this week. So we had our kind of Hendrick premiere the other day, and now get to do it here in Indy with a lot of the team from the last couple years. So I'm excited about it, and just glad it's out and done, and we can kind of close the book on the double.
I liked your chances against the 2 races, but it was Mother Nature, as we see again, that you can never depend on come May here in Indy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fitting when I flew in here not long ago and it was raining. So, that was not ironic, I guess, or ironic, however you want to look at it. But, no, it's still cool to be back here in Indy, and this race is so special, and the double is also, very, very special to me. So, yeah, it was cool to be able to document it. The team, Cynthia Hill and her team, did a great job putting it together and kind of, just piecing what we didn't know would be a thing, there for a minute. But, yeah, they did a great job, so just super fortunate.
One thing that struck me was this was a legit documentary. Did you ever want to say, get the hell out of my face? Because there were some moments where it seems like you would have wanted to.
No, I mean, honestly, they're such great people that they made it very comfortable for us and our family. Sure, in the beginning, when you don't know them as a person or as humans, you're a little bit more reserved. But yeah, they followed us around a lot, and we ended up being super comfortable with them. They're great friends now, and the kids were very comfortable. So you get to a point where you even stop noticing them. If it wasn't for them just having to mic you up, you would forget that they're there. So no, it's just that's been the saddest part about the double being done, is that we see them less now. So we were seeing them so often that, like I said, we built a great relationship.
It was an incredible story. I know you had a lot of fans rooting for you down there and up here. I know you've spoken to Catherine about her endeavor. Besides the weather, what do you think will be the most challenging things for her?
I don't know. I think obviously I know what her equipment is in the NASCAR side of things, and it's not what I'm in. So she's definitely I think for her to see the checkered flag is going to be a great accomplishment on that side of things. I'm sure she knows she doesn't have any expectation of finishing well in that, but on the Indy side, I think she can definitely do a great job. So yeah, I'm rooting for great weather on Sunday. I'm hoping for the forecast to get a lot better than it currently looks, and she can complete all 1,100 miles, because I'm a huge fan of hers and what she means for motorsports and definitely women in racing. So I was pumped to hear that she was going to do the double, and just hope it goes well.
It was awesome seeing your story from the outside, but thanks for opening up, and now people can enjoy this for years to come. Thanks a lot. Congratulations on the film.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Chris, great job there on the red carpet. I really like that interview. Hey, guess what? We'll go from Kyle Larson to Kyffin Simpson. Sneaky fast out here. A lot of people picking you as the dark horse in your Sunoco Honda. Are you excited about your opportunities? Great qualifying run and almost time to go racing.
Yeah, very excited. I think the team's done a great job all month and all through the offseason getting these cars prepared and fast, and I think all three of us in the Ganassi camp are feeling really strong and very happy with our machines right now.
When you see the team, it's a team sport. It's not just, the driver gets all the credit. There's a lot that goes into it. And to be on that team and to have teammates that have been there and done that, how beneficial has that been to you?
Yeah, it's been very helpful. And, it's great to have such experienced teammates like Alex and Scott. But, even further than that, having a great team around you with a ton of great people that each have a lot of experience and very helpful experience. Dario's around a lot, and that's very helpful. Obviously, he knows this place kind of well. So, yeah, he's always a huge help. And, there's so much experience on the team between, Mike Hull, Chip, Barry. There's a lot of great people on the team.
What do you take from past experience here? I know there's no experience like experience. What have you learned that may help you to realize how long this is and what you need to do to get to the end?
Yeah, it's a difficult race. I've learned that in the last 2 years. It's not an easy race to make it to the end. A lot can go wrong between the green flag and the checkered flag, and you just gotta kind of treat it like an endurance race. It's not an all-out sprint. You gotta make sure that you're in the right position to then go for it in those last kind of 50 laps. And it just makes it very difficult for those reasons. You've got the reliability. You got to make sure you make it to the end on reliability, and then you got to make sure you can keep it clean as well when things get crazy.
Well, speaking of crazy, I know it's media day, a lot of interviews. Do you like this part, or you just kind of bite your tongue and go out there and say, let's get this over with?
I mean, it's part of the job, right? Like this is, I want to be an IndyCar driver, and being a professional driver, this is part of the job, and I love every part of it. It's there's no one part that I would get rid of being an IndyCar driver. Ever since I discovered this was like something that I could do for a living, it's all I've wanted to do, and I don't think you get the full experience missing any single part of it.
You're a race car driver. I'm a TV sports guy. We don't have real jobs. We got to take it all in and enjoy it. Kyffin, a lot of folks pulling for you, a lot of folks picking you. No pressure, but go out there, enjoy the race, be safe, and we'll see you afterwards.
Thank you.
Kyffin Simpson, he's getting ready to go racing. Chip Ganassi Racing. He's in the Sunoco machine, and I think they're going to take you somewhere else now. Good stuff, man. We'll see you. Yeah, look at that. Already 2 drivers in. And, yeah, Kiffin's getting a lot of traction here. A lot of folks like what he's doing. Obviously, the qualifying was great. He will roll off on the inside of row 3 in the 7th position, so keep an eye out for him as well. I think it's almost, man, time flies when you don't know what you're doing. We're actually going to hit our first break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk a lot more racing. And we're also going to talk a little Indiana Fever. We'll have the voice of the Fever, John Nolan, joining us in just a little bit. So hang around. Okay, there's no JMV. It's me, Chris Hagan. I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. I don't suck as much as JMV, but I'll do my best in the next couple hours. So stick and stay. We'll be right back after these short messages.
The Ride with JMV.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. But that's not important right now.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
93.5, 107.5, The Fan. I need to get a job where I just do that. Sit around in my house in my underwear, and they just send me scripts. The Ride with JMV. I could do that, couldn't I, James?
I think you could.
Those guys got it made. They don't have to put on makeup or suits and ties. By the way, no camera today. I know a lot of people, that breaks your heart. I'm not JMV. I'm not as sleek as John with the cool hair. And I'm not ready to be on camera. Let's just face it. It's been a long couple of weeks. I am Chris Hagan, Fox 59 Sports. I've now been at Fox 59 for 26 and a half years. And I got to tell you a great story. You may have seen this on my X. I call it X. If you don't follow me on X, maybe you should think about it. I'm at Chris Hagan, Indy, Hagan. And here's what happened the other day. So we got these key cards to get into the building. And I had this key card. Like I said, I've been there 26 and a half years. And you have to hold the key card up to this little box. It goes beep when you get in. Well, my key card broke in half. And speaking of breaking in half, we're going to break this. Look at this guy, Conor Daly, Indiana's own. Right here. Coming on in. I'm doing like the filling the dead air until Conor sits down here.
Are we live?
We're live.
Oh, really? Cool.
Let me ask you this. Do you prefer to be known as Noblesville native,
Sure.
Indiana's own, native Hoosier? What's the best description?
I mean, to be fair, I did grow up in Noblesville, so it's not, it's not an inaccurate fact.
But where were you born?
I don't know where the hospital was, if I'm honest. I don't know where.
No one ever told you?
Was. No.
Were you?
I probably was born in downtown, honestly.
Yeah.
But
so when you're traveling the globe and people say, "Hey, where are you from?" You say Indianapolis, don't you?
No, I say Noblesville. I still follow the marketing tools. Like, yeah. I mean, that's where I grew up. So I technically that's not wrong.
Well, let me ask you this: you're like in Spain, and somebody says, "Where are you from?" and you go,
Indiana. I just say Indiana.
You say Noblesville, Indiana, and they go, "Where's that?" and you go,
"Oh, if I'm in Spain, no, I'm just saying Indiana. That's it." and then I say, the Indianapolis 500, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that one." Yeah.
I tell you what, the Indianapolis 500, regardless of the make, model, engine manufacturer, the team. Somehow you just get on that track and you go fast. I'm just an idiot. I mean, racing.
No, you're
better
not. You're
than
very smart.
Thank you. You grew up around racing. You know it. But does that make sense that you can just go out there no matter the team? Explain how you're so good out here.
Well, the only reason I can do what I do is because of the cars that I've had. So, the last several 500s, although they've been with different teams and stuff like that. I mean, I've had great cars, great situations. Some we've made some magic happen with, but this year is a little bit different. We just have been very confident. We have used information from 2024 when I was with this team, and they knew what I wanted at the end of that race, and so we kind of immediately started down that path last week, which is good. So I can only do what I do as long as the car is given to me, and I appreciate them for doing that for me.
Conor Daly, the 23 Dreyer and Reinbold machine. We start in 8th, right?
8th, yes.
And you told me before too. I think you said you've always taken like notes. You've been like a note guy, and you can refer back to that. That's one of the genius things about you. Qualifying and where you start. Obviously, it's a dumb thing to say. It's better to start out front. How important is it in a race that's this long and there's so much attrition?
I think, I've never started this far forward, so I don't know. But I mean, I've started in the back before. Obviously, last row several times, and you do have a bit of a different mindset where it's like, yikes, I got to get up there, or I'll never get up there, and that's not necessarily true. Like there is time. It's an endurance race essentially, and you got to be patient. But when you're at the front, right out the gate, I feel like that patience just has to take effect earlier because you really want to sit like 4th for 165 laps. You know what I mean? And maybe even 3rd. And so there's going to be restarts. Like, you know that there's going to be some crazy stuff that happens at some point. But if not, then you want to ride third, fourth, and defend yourself and have clean pit stops. And if one doesn't go right, well, you got to attack and immediately get back to that spot. But everyone's thinking the same thing. So it's going to be an interesting day, and it always is. But I've enjoyed coming from a bunch of different places on this starting grid. So I'm excited to experience what this is like.
Noblesville native. He was born, we don't know where, Conor Daly.
Indiana.
I met you at Mark Dismore's karting track, and I was in the media race, and like you were a teenager, and I said, hey, give me some tips here. And you said, don't hit the brakes. So I took your advice, and on the second lap, I turned the cart over. I broke the cart. It had to leave on a truck.
Sounds like a personal problem.
So I thought, where do I get, where's that another car? They're like, we're not giving you one.
Well,
so I listened to you, teenage.
You're just
Conor
on the
Daly.
wrong line.
That's the problem. Like, it sounds simple, like, hey, just step on it and go. But I was on the. I tell you what, though, there was a guy one year, not to get anybody in trouble, but one guy in the media race broke his arm.
Oh,
it wasn't me though, but I did.
Classic mix-up.
It did roll, and I was like, this is the highest level of racing that I'm going to attain. It's on TB. You need him to leave. Is it time for him to go? Yeah, we've asked all the drivers. This is unlike any other race. Other places, hey, let's show up, let's qualify, let's race, see you later. But so much of the hullabaloo and all these interviews, and I know you have one of those personalities. You never half-ass it through an interview. Very thoughtful in your answers. But at some point, are you like, okay, let's just go race. Enough of this.
No, because I appreciate this month so much, and I know at some point I probably won't be a part of it. And so I've grown to appreciate every single day, and it never gets old for me. So I want to do a million Indy 500s. I want to do the Indy 500 until they bury me in the ground. But I know that that's physically not possible.
Probably won't happen.
But yeah, I feel like this is my 13th, and still not 1 minute of it gets old. And if anything, it's only getting better because again, we're 2 years in a row selling out now. I mean, it's an amazing event, every bit of it. And honestly, when all these media days continue to grow, that means that it's better for us, and it means that everyone can go racing more, and everyone can maybe make more money, and we can all be happy. And that stuff is really cool. Just the spectacle feels like it's growing.
Do you know how many more 500s you'd have to run to match AJ's record?
So many. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But
35.
That's so
we need 22 more out of you
Yeah.
after this one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Before we let you go, you're so good with the social media, and I was so proud of a post I made the other day. Other people laughed and told me it was funny. You did not respond. Did you see what I posted? Are you aware of what I did?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I saw you were jogging, and I waved at you.
No, you didn't tag me, I don't think.
Because
someone said, "Did you see?" You might have spelled my name wrong.
No, it was your name with the
Okay.
A.
All right.
So he was jogging, and so I went behind him and I got video of jogging, and then I put the bum 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 bum.
I didn't see this.
The Rocky video. I'm like, this is gold, and so many people laughed and liked it, and the one person I wanted to make laugh doesn't even acknowledge it.
I did not even see this. I don't think this is real. This might be fake news.
I'm going to do a redo post. I'm going to double tag you and get
double
you on
tag me again because I want to see it because someone did mention to me that they saw me running through your post, and I was like, well, I didn't see it.
I'm going to double dog tag you. Connor, once you get through with
CC me on it. Yeah.
Once you get done with your 35 Indy 500s you're going to run, I know you got a great career in broadcasting like your pops. You got the voice for it. Unfortunately, like me, you have the face for radio. So
thank you.
Now, have you ever identified as ginger? Are you ginger at all?
I think that some people would classify me.
We
as
claim
that.
as many people as
I'd say
we
like
can.
50% maybe.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I know it's always funny when people ask drivers, "Could you hear the crowd? Could you hear the crowd?" I know you don't hear anything, but trust me, a lot of folks rooting for you. You'll hear it in the driver intros. Go out there and drive fast, and let's see what happens.
Yes, sir. That sounds like a great plan.
Conor Daly, the one and only, doesn't pay attention to my social media posts, but we're gonna do
Not
a
yet.
redo. We're gonna do a redo. TB Tom Blattler, the legend. He's gonna make Conor go talk to more dorks like me, and then it'll be done. How about Conor Daly, starting as far out front as he ever has, and now I think we're going to talk a little Indiana fever. Is that right? Am I correct, James?
You are correct.
Look at this. I don't do radio. I'm just a TV idiot, and this thing is flowing like fine wine. How about we talk a little fever, and who better to do that than a young man that we like to call John Nolan, voice of your Indiana Fever. Finally above the 500 mark. It took a little while, didn't it, John?
Hey, Chris. Yeah, thanks so much for the chance to join you. And so 3-2 through the first 5 games, which, let's be honest, not that amazing. Frankly, they're as a team, they probably feel like they should be 4-1, if not even 5-0. But that said, I know a lot has changed here in the last few years, but this is actually the first time the Fever have a winning record through 5 games since 2019. So certainly not satisfied with it, but all things considered, especially given Aaliyah missing Sunday night's game and then Caitlin missing last night's game, all things considered, they're still in a solid spot here early on this season.
Well, when I looked at the schedule and I saw how many home games were out of the gate, and I thought they're going to be 4-1. They're going to be you got to make the most of these home games, and that to me, I mean, we've seen some exciting home games, but you'd like for those exciting games to end with a W.
Right, and so the 2 losses so far were the 2 games in which they scored more than 100 points. Opening day against Dallas comes down to missing a shot at the buzzer, and then it was the same deal last Friday night against Washington after they had a big comeback to force overtime. So that said, yeah, still one more game in this homestand. It'll be tomorrow night, 7:30 against the Golden State Valkyries before they have a couple games out west next week. So, yeah, great opportunity to try to build up some positive momentum here despite some of the disruption.
John Nolan, he's the voice of the Indiana Fever, and right now I'm going to try to make him spell Valkyries on air. Valkyries, go.
Oh, man, put me on the spot. So V-A-L.
I can't spell it here. Yeah.
When was the National Spelling Bee? Did that pass? I know that's usually around this time of the year.
I was waiting for you to say, can you use it in a sentence? Is the origin Greek?
Valkyries, V-A-L-K-Y-R-I-E-S.
See, you knew. You knew it.
They're named after Kyrie Irving. I believe that's what the origin is.
Well, it is. Now I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'm not gonna get you to comment or make a big hullabaloo about it. But I'll tell you, I know a lot of Fever fans that are season ticket holders, and they were excited about the game, and they found out very late in the day that Caitlin was not playing. But what I did, I know that she was signing autographs and she was, doing some meet and greets, which is she didn't have to do that. So she does a great job about that. But when was this made known to people in the media or the voice of the Fever yourself that she was not going to play?
Yes, real quick, I just do want to set the record straight here and make sure there's no conflicting information. A Valkyrie is a female warrior going back to Norse mythology.
I like the Kyrie Irving story better.
Yeah. No, so to answer your question, so last night it was a 7:00 game. It was publicly announced that Caitlin wasn't going to be playing at 5:30. I mean, I only found out in the media room at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, literally just maybe a minute or so before it became public. And as we heard from head coach Stephanie White last night, she did not know definitively that Caitlin was not going to be playing until about 5:00 last night. So, based off of the fact that Caitlin had woken up yesterday and her back felt stiff and sore, and she's had, I guess her back at points early on this season hasn't felt great, or she's even acknowledged that to some degree it's a bit of a mental thing here as she's trying to figure out trust in her body after she had the multiple leg injuries last season. So just a case of erring on the side of caution. But yeah, it was truly just a pretty late developing thing before last night's game.
Well, the thing is, with the expectations of this team, you realize that, Game 5 of the season, it's okay for her to sit out because let's be honest, they're gonna beat Portland Fire? Is that
Portland Fire, one of the expansion teams?
Yeah, they're gonna
Golden State Valkyries were new last year. Now this year, Portland, and there's a team in Toronto, the Tempo, also now.
So you don't need all hands on deck to beat the Portland Fire to extinguish the fire. So I'm okay with it, and Aaliyah's missed time, and that's something we talked to Steph about on media day, that there's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some highs and lows. There's going to be some time missed by star players, and the key is to stack as many wins as you can and then see what happens once you get to the postseason. What's been interesting to me is how far they went last year, taking Vegas to Game 5, and we were out there and we talked to you out there, and just within a whisper of advancing to the finals. And then you want to reboot that, but then you remember you did all that for the most part without Caitlin. How have you seen this thing being put back together with what you had and loved last year, but also, oh, by the way, you have an all-star guard back in the mix as well?
Yeah, and so that first game of the season, even though it wound up being a loss, you had Kelsey Mitchell returning to form, scoring 30 points, and Caitlin and Aaliyah had more than 20-plus points themselves. So, granted, collectively as a group defensively, they left a lot to be desired in that first game against Dallas. But, I mean, I guess that was what you would be hoping for with the offense humming there right out of the gates. But then now, I mean, even the second game of the season, Aaliyah was in foul trouble, and then she left the game due to injury and missed the game, and then Caitlin missed last night. But yeah, last night turned out to be, as they were up as many as 26 points and really cruised to a 17-point win. Last night was a reminder of what the team did last year, throughout most of the regular season and then the playoff run, overcoming the absence of Caitlin. And so I think you do have to give credit to all the women on the team, including some, new pieces that they have now too, for just collectively having a toughness and a resilience about them, and really not being phased. Let's be honest, fans and media like myself, we're a lot more affected by Caitlin not playing than her teammates and her coaches are. And that said, I don't mean to diminish, it's especially for fans, it does stink. And I think probably no one hurts, figuratively speaking, more over a situation like this than Caitlin. And that's why she still, even in times when she doesn't play, goes really above and beyond when it comes to signing autographs for fans and taking pictures, because she's smart and she has a good head on her shoulders, and she gets that, all the privilege that she has in the world right now is largely a result of the support that she gets from fans. And I think the Fever organization understand that. So an unfortunate, not ideal situation, but as you pointed out, I mean, it's a 44-game season. Last night was only game number 5, so I think they're just trying to sort of nip any back issue in the bud. And after tomorrow's game, then there's almost a full week off before the next one. So we don't have an injury report for tomorrow night yet. That'll be coming out in an hour and 15 minutes at 5 o'clock to see what Caitlin's status will be for tomorrow. But yeah, as you hit on there, this is still a really talented team. Their best version of the Fever, no doubt, has Caitlin starring, but even without her, again, they showed what they're capable of.
Well, John, I know you're not going to miss a game all year, so I don't need to see the broadcaster's injury report. I know you'll be good to go tomorrow night. Love to hear you when I'm going between places or from the field house back to the station. You guys do a great job, and thanks to jumping on and feeling some time for me, because JMV is worthless and made me do the show today.
No, big fan of yours as well, Chris. I'm going to give you some pity likes on social media, and I'm very, very locked in on all the posts that you make. Understandably, I think Conor's got some bigger stuff going on here this time of year, but I'm way too locked in on my phone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's get it done. We'll listen to you tomorrow night, and remember to pace yourself. Let's not get hoarse this early in the season.
I got my cough drops and some hot tea at the ready. So thanks a lot, Chris. See you around.
Awesome. John Nolan, your radio voice of the Indiana Fever. He's got the pipes, you can tell. Hey, I'm going to get me some I don't know if this is a sponsor of the show, if somebody's going to get fired, but I'm going to go over there and get me some Coke Zero. So let's hit a break. I'm going to refuel, and we'll be back with more. We're going to have more Indy drivers, and we're going to talk about my exciting story about my key card and how I couldn't get into my own building. All right, let's get a break.
The Ride with JMV.
I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, that's NXS with New Sensation here on WJMV Radio. Hey, this is The Ride, but without JMV today, it's me, Chris Hagan. You know me, that little pale ginger kid. No, not Dave First. I'm the short one. Dave First is the tall one. I'm Chris Hagan, Fox 59, sports anchor, general goob. We got drivers. I'm trying to navigate these drivers we got coming in. This first hour has been cooking. I mean, we've had Rinus VeeKay right out of the gate. We had Kyffin Simpson. We had Noblesville's own Conor Daly. And I think we're going to be in line here for Pato and for Santino Ferrucci. It looks like Pato might be making his way over here right now. He is. He's coming in hot. He's coming in hot. Look at him. Patricio, good to see you again.
What's up?
Pato knows me from my TV stuff, but I'm filling in for radio today, so I'm starving for guests. So we're going to get you in. We're going to get you in, get you out. Did I say that right, Patricio?
Yeah, Patricio's perfect.
Patricio.
Yeah.
Now listen, this is the thing I hear either way all the time. I even argue with people at work. Pato or Pato? You say what you like to hear. How do you like to hear it? Pato, Pato. Pato O'Ward. Pato O'Ward. Which one is it?
Sounds the same.
Come on.
Yeah, it sounds the same, bro.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like Zach says, Pato. Yeah, I've heard it in 10 different ways.
I go Pato.
That works. That's perfect.
I want to say do the little thing with the Patricio.
Like at least you're not saying Pato.
Patricio. That's terrible.
Pato is just bleh.
Hey, you'll be a broadcaster one day, years and years from now when you're done. I mean, if you want to be a broadcaster, you can. You have fun. You have the personality. What do you think about this aspect of it, the media side, when obviously your true love is to be down there in the track and rolling?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on the cash.
It's not much right here. I'll tell you that right now.
Depends on the cash. You know, Tom Brady is sitting pretty on like $35 million a year. So
we can get you half that. I
think.
So
if they can give me half of that, give me a broadcasting job right now.
Hey, there's certain interviews I hear and things stick out, and I start quoting them all the time. And when you were upstairs and you guys were talking about the push to pass, and you just said, "That's the rules, man. That's the rules." That was the greatest soundbite I've heard all year when you're talking to Alex.
Sadly, though, it wasn't the rules. So
it's a good idea to know the rules before the race, I think.
Yeah.
It's I mean, this is, you know how special this place is, and you talk about somebody who's done everything but win the race. I feel like it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So why not go do it this Sunday?
Oh, that'd be magnificent. I would love to do it sooner rather than later. But yeah, I look forward to this time every year, man. It is the best time all year.
Well, you have, obviously, you know the fans. Those fans are special, whoever their favorite driver is. But yours are very vocal. You see them, they come out decked out. Do you like to have some time to show them the love and let them know how much you appreciate that?
Of course. I mean, I've definitely dedicated a lot of time to them. You know, in random spots of the days that we've had, you know, beautiful weather here running around, and at this point of the week, I usually try and zone in a little bit more and you know, really put the priorities up.
I know you got a lot to do, so I'm going to get you out of here with one last question. You got a good starting spot. How do you feel about the race car? I mean, do you feel like everything's in line?
Yeah, my traffic running setup was feeling good. Now I get to try it on a different car because of the because of the crash on Monday. But I'm not worried. I think the car is going to behave exactly how it's intended to, and I'm going to be ready to fight for the win.
I was talking to Tony Kanaan last night, and agreeing how crazy you guys are about all you want to do is get right back in the car when something like that happens.
That's the best thing you can do.
Pato, we love you. We're rooting for you. Go get him, and thanks for the time as
usual. Thank you very much.
Patricio O'Ward. Yeah, that's thanks, guys. Now he's hanging out with the Wienermobile people over there. There they are. The Wienermobile drinking their soft drinks as they're in training. All right, we're going to hit a break. We're going to be back with more right after this.
The Ride with JMV.
Talk about your Psalms. Talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
That was probably my famous moment.
Santino, wait till I introduce you before you just start talking on the show.
Sorry.
I know you're fast. You're not going to be fast on the radio. Hey, John's not here, so it's Hagan 316. Chris Hagan, Fox 59. Somehow I got roped into doing radio. And like I told Santino Ferrucci, I've been told several times I have a face for radio. So here we are.
Here we are. We're doing it.
Man, the only thing better than your performances at the Indy 500 is your hair. Every year I comment on your hair, and every year it's got like a little different tweak. Do you have a hair specialist that tells you what to do with the hair?
No, I just kind of change it up for the wife, maybe.
So she is the decision maker.
She's not thrilled that it's as long as it is right now, but I did say, listen, I almost won this race in 23, and my hair was long. I'm like, I'm growing it back out again. So I've been growing it out since basically Toronto.
Okay. He's Santino Ferrucci, drives the number 14 AJ Foyt machine. Homes for our troops.
Homes for our troops.
A great cause. I know the other night you had an event. We got to meet a gentleman who's been able to benefit from that. And tell us a little bit about that, how folks can check that out and get involved.
Yeah, so Homes for Our Troops, hfot.org. You can donate if it's our post 9/11 severely injured veterans. So the men and women that have gone out, fought for our country, served, and unfortunately did not come back whole. HFOT helps them get readjusted back to life. They build them custom adapted homes. So we are approaching 450 homes. So it's a big number.
That's awesome.
We have a bunch of the veterans with us this whole month, almost all year. And just getting to hear their stories and, being able to take them on track last year was crazy. They were supposed to give me a Corvette to go take them around track, and then I think they realized that's not a good idea, so they gave me Suburban. So I was fitting that up on two wheels with those guys. I think they enjoyed it, so I did. But, no, with America's birthday, the 250th, I think, just remembering to support those who supported us and give us the freedoms we have today is a really important thing this year, and it's a great cause. Hendricks Commercial Properties and Geronimo Hospitality are really doing this for HFOT and getting their name out there and really helping our veterans.
It's a great cause, and you're a great representative of that, so wanted to give that some props before we talked about the racing stuff. Every time you go out there, you're 7 starts, 7 top 10s. You're always up front.
Yep.
We've talked about it before about your day is coming. How you feeling about this year? Great starting spot. You joked about it's a hell of a lot easier the further up you start.
It is.
But it's a long race.
It is. I've never cared for anybody that you talk to that knows me knows I don't care for qualifying around this place. It makes no difference.
Right.
Now, is my job easier come Sunday? Yeah. Did we get out of the car after our first run and say we'll probably end up 15th, 14th, and I'm okay with that? And then we got out of the car after the Fast 12 run. We went, cool, we're going to start 11th. Then we were in the Fast 6. We were just like, all right, well, I keep, going to have to get back in there and drive. So it was, to start 5th here just really helps our day. It really helps our pit selection. It just makes it a little bit easier. So it's better.
You come out here and you talk about AJ Foyt, that name, legendary, racing for him, what that means, and to know that you're going out there, let's get him back in victory lane. Is that something you carry with you each and every lap, knowing like how special this is and how crazy this place would go?
I hope that after we win that we don't burn this place down, but I feel like it's going to go towards that route. I don't know, just to get AJ's 6th win, 2nd as a car owner, to be doing it, the red, white, and blue, stars and stripes, got the Evel Knievel helmet, you name it, it's my 100th start. The amount of milestones that this would make would be legendary for me. And also, you're not just winning it in a top team. You're winning it in the 14 car, which makes it all that more special.
You're way younger than I am, but when I was a kid, Evel Knievel, that's what it was. I had the little action figure and the bike, and you go, and you take off and crash. That's the coolest. So as soon as I saw the helmet and stuff, I'm like, I'm so jealous of Santino. Like, he's great out here. Now he's got the Evel Knievel aspect. I mean, this is just you're right. There's so many things that are coming together. I mean, I feel like Sunday could be really special for you.
I think Sunday can be special. And obviously trying to manage that mindset and manage those expectations has been a new challenge for me. You know, I don't think I've ever been this good going into a Sunday at the 500 for us. So, yeah, just trying to keep my head on right and, you know, stay focused and just remember that, you know, when we go out there, we're going to give it our best, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah. What I love about you, no matter what happens, you always got a smile on your face. You got the great attitude. A lot of folks are rooting for you. And thanks to Ann, this is the Hall of Famer right here.
Ann is the Hall of Famer. I'm getting pulled around all day today by hand. It's going great.
Yeah. So she's like your spotter, okay? She's like, hey, go left, go. Listen to her today. I know Media Day is a lot going on. I appreciate you making some time for us.
Always.
You know, I love you, brother. Go get him.
Love you too, bro. Thank you so much for having me on.
Santino Ferrucci, even though he talked a little too soon, we still will cut him some slack. And, Ann, I guess you're going to take him out of here. Take the headphones off, Santino.
All right. I like him. I like the radio. I don't want to leave you guys.
We're going to get him his own personal headset. He can just walk around and do some broadcasting.
I'm in. All right. I'll talk to you.
All right, brother. We'll see you. Santino Ferrucci and taking care of business. Look at the pants. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I'm stealing that come race day. Just don't get on a motorcycle. Santino Ferrucci in the 14 machine, AJ Foyt Enterprises. How cool is that going to be? And 7 starts. He's finished every race. He's been up near the front in every race. I thought he was going to win it a couple of years ago. A close call, and perhaps Sunday will be the day. And that's what people ask me. They always say, you know, who you're rooting for, who you want to win. And every driver in this field, all 33 drivers, would be a great story. Every driver is, you know, there's been some athletes over the years, you know, football players, kind of maybe they rub you the wrong way, and you're like, but that's not the case in IndyCar. And we've already uncorked, 5 drivers? And I'd be happy for all 5 of them. Rinus, Kyffin, Conor, Pato. Now I'm going to keep saying Pato because you heard him just then. He said he's fine with Pato. He doesn't like Pato. And we talked to Santino Ferrucci in the number 14. Why don't you guys hit me up with some social media here? I'm supposed to be getting some social media traction on this appearance. This show apparently is a highly rated show. It must be because John does 47 commercials an hour. I only got 1 mention so far on my social, which is at Chris Hagan Indy. It's from Derek White, our guy Derek. He says he would have gladly co-hosted. We could talk Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Now, here's the thing. You say Mississippi State before Ole Miss. That's the way we'll always do it. And I'm a little upset, too, because filling in for John here, I'm not able to watch Mississippi State in the SEC baseball tournament. And people say, why do you like college baseball? Well, Mississippi State sucked at everything when I was growing up except college baseball. Some of you older folks would remember the Thunder and Lightning, Will Clark, Rafael Palmeiro on the same college baseball team. Jeff Brantley on the same team. Bobby Thigpen, you White Sox fans remember him. 4 future All-Stars, 4 All-Americans, and they lost. They got knocked out in the 85 College World Series by a Miami team that had no future Major League Baseball players. 4 Major League All-Stars, they lose. Now I'm all riled up. Okay, got to finish my story. If you were listening earlier, I'll recap my story about my ID card. So I've been working there 26 and a half years, and I have this stupid ID card that you have to hold up to this little pad, and it beeps you into the station, which I understand. You know, I've got plenty of stalkers, people that want to meet me, and I'm kidding. I have 0. So my ID card was so worn out because it's in my wallet, and it was shaped like my butt, and it bent. And so now it broke. I need a new ID card. So the engineer out there, Stacy, my guy, he gets me a new ID card, and he puts it on my desk with like a lanyard. And I'm like, well, this is smart. I can just wear this lanyard, and I'll just buzz myself out. The card will never be damaged. I'll just wear it around my neck. Well, of course, 25 years of having it in my wallet, I still haven't realized that it's not in my wallet. It's in my car, in like the little dash or cup holder. And so I forget it all the time. So I forgot it, and usually somebody just let me in. So I got to work a couple weeks ago, and I had all this stuff in my hands because I'm too stupid to make 1 trip or 2 trips. And I get to the door, and the lady who I know knows me. I mean, I've been on TV for 26 and a half years. At least in my own building, people know who I am. And so I go to, like, for her to buzz me in, and she says, do you have your ID card? And I go, no, it's in my car. She goes, well, I can't buzz you in. You're going to have to sign into the guest book. So I kind of laughed, and I was like, really? Yeah, you're going to have to sign in, or I'll get in trouble. No, I don't want to get her in trouble. So I'm like, yeah, I'll sign the guest book. So I have to write in date, time, and it says company. And so I write Nextar. That's who owns it. I just write Nextar. And then it says person here to visit or person here to see. And so I wrote myself. And then I sign in like a jackass, and then they let me in the building. So that was embarrassing and humiliating, but not as bad as the first time I met this lady that works our front desk. Lovely lady, very nice lady. And so I had seen she had like a nameplate up. And so she's new, and I say, hey, how you doing? Hi. So like 3 days into it, she says, we haven't officially met. And I go, hey, I'm Chris. And I swear to God, been there a quarter of a century. I say, hey, I'm Chris. And she says, what do you do here? And so I started laughing, and I said, I work in the sports department. And she says, what do you do? And I said, I'm on TV. And she looked very shocked. And so the next day I saw her, and she said, I watched you on TV, and you did a great job. So I know it was funny because I don't ever expect anybody to know who I am. But it was funny that the lady working our front desk had no idea who I was. And then weeks later made me sign in to the guest book to come into the building. So that was fun. I told you earlier about the two movies that I'm highly recommending for you to check out. And one is Kyle Larson versus the Double. It's on Prime Video. So if you don't have a subscription, just steal your friend's login and watch it. It's really cool. It has both years of Kyle Larson doing the Double. It has James, I thought we agreed you were going to talk to me on the air, and here you are texting me.
I don't want to interrupt your lovely story.
You know what? I think the listeners would be happy for anybody to interrupt my story. Kyle Larson versus the Double. It documents the 2 years he attempted the Double, and I tell you what, this goes way back. His mom basically videoed him from birth, like he's a baby in her arms, and you see how early his dad did some racing, and you can see how early Kyle Larson was racing and loving racing. He was a huge Jeff Gordon fan. He actually moved to Indiana like Jeff Gordon did to do his racing. I know a lot of the listeners are well aware of his track record, pun intended. So, and it addresses the controversy, some of the rough times he had and, some rough times he brought upon himself and what that was like, trying to live without a paycheck. So definitely recommend that. And Bobby Rahal, True American Racer. You got to watch that. And I'm telling you, there'll be some tearful moments in both of those, especially the Rahal documentary. So check those two out. One's the Rahal thing's a Fox production. Big Machine Productions did that with Scott Borchetta, and you can check that out on Fox. I think there's so many streaming things now. By the way, I should probably plug our streaming things. Fox 59 Now. I tell you what, I do more streaming than I do TV nowadays, but I'd like to think that at least one person was watching. So you need to check out Fox 59 Now. There's David Malukas. Maybe we'll trick him into coming over here eventually. I'm eyeballing him. He's starting on the front row. He can come right now if he wants. We're looking. We're negotiating. Malukas looks happy to be here. Looks very happy. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I was talking about watching those documentaries. And I was talking about streaming. We got somebody else walking over here. This is good radio, I know. We have the streaming thing, Fox 59 Now. And I tell you what, me and Chris Widlick and Dave Griffiths, Alexa Ross, Nicole Weaving, and the main guy, Phil Nardiello, the producer, we have done a ton of extra content. Now, I don't know how this works. I know you got to have like a smart TV or whatever, and you get on there and you download the Fox 59 Now app, and then you just cut loose. And if you really want to, if you don't have enough Chris Hagan in your life, and let's be honest, who really does? You can go watch that. And I approach it just like I approach this radio show, with zero research, zero preparedness, and we just talk. It's fun. We got Bruce Martin on there a lot too this week because we got the extra Indy 500 content. We've got some of our interviews. You can see my interview with Danica Patrick that has already aired on television. I think it's going to air again on Race Morning. And I talked to Danica about, everybody's talking about Catherine Legg trying the double. And I asked Danica, why didn't she ever do it? And, hey, one of you Wienermobiles want to come over here? Are you allowed to come over here and talk? Oh, I'm getting big league by the Wienermobile people. I want to hear your 35 puns about wieners and racing and. Yeah, we're live right now on ESPN Radio, but I know you can't. I can't go up there and talk to your wiener handlers, but Yeah, but I don't work. I work for TV station. I'm filling in on the radio today, so my card wouldn't make sense. You got a card? Can you prove that we're real people?
We can catch up with you later.
Oh, he's gonna catch up with me later. Okay, I know I can't get you. Which is yours? Slaw Dog, and you are New York Dog. All right. Well, you guys are great. I don't want to get you in trouble, but giving some props to the Oscar Mayer people. Free pub right now on the radio too, by the way. Oscar Mayer. You know, I'm more of a I'm a chili dog guy. Chili only. What's that called? What do you call that? Just a chili dog? We have a chili dog? Oh, I'm not rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for chili dog.
I'm a slaw dog. There is chili on the slaw dog.
Okay, then. I think I'll stick with my chili dog. Well, you guys, good luck. Stay out of trouble. Yeah, we got the actually, when I was, see, guys, there they go. The Wienermobile drivers. I got big leagued by the Wienermobile drivers. They're wearing their Slaw Dog has on his purple Wienermobile uniform. They're in actual race suits. Now they're probably talking junk about me too with their stupid ketchup puns. Now, like, I love hot dogs. I probably eat too many hot dogs. But can you believe that? Big leagued.
Unbelievable.
Big leagued. You should have seen their face. Do you have a card? I got to give a card to the Wiener people to prove. What about me looks. I haven't been this humiliated since I had to sign in to get into the Fox 59 building. Ridiculous. Oh, yeah, so back to what I was talking about before I got Weenie interrupted. I asked Danica, why didn't you ever do the double? And she said, I wanted to. Like when she first left IndyCar and went to NASCAR that first year, but she said that the team manager told her that wouldn't be a good look, that she needed to prove that she was fully NASCAR, dedicated. It's all about NASCAR. And so then she followed up the following year, like, let's give this a go, and still wasn't able to get together to do it. But I think I'm pulling for Catherine, but I got to tell you, Danica would have been great at that because she won an IndyCar race. She led at the 500. And obviously in that crossover year where she was getting fully involved with NASCAR, had been just fully involved with IndyCar, I think that would have been great. And then she did point out to me that she did the Danica double in her last year before retiring, where she did the Daytona 500 in addition to the Indy 500. So the two biggest races of both series, but not, when you're trying to pull off something in the same day. We talked to Brian Wilks a little bit earlier about the forecast, and he started talking about barometric pressure and dew point and relative humidity. It was something. Okay, I'm not a weather guy. I'm a sports guy. And he said some kind of nonsense about the European models and the American models, and I got excited for a little bit but found out that was some kind of like radar or prognostication. Bottom line is, he says he thinks race day's good. He thinks might be some trouble on Carb Day, which is tomorrow. Now, I got to tell you, most people out here at Carb Day, and I'll be out here with JMV tomorrow, when we get up under that little tent there and everybody just goes absolutely bonkers, which is fun. I don't think people really will care if it's raining on Carb Day because it's not going to dampen their spirits. You can't rain on their I'm trying to do the puns like the Wienermobile guy. Here comes Bruce Martin. Speaking of wieners, have a seat, Bruce. So Brian says, he just made the loudest noise ever. Bruce, put the headset on. You're tearing up the microphone. So he says, looks like rain on Carb Day. Looks like should be good on race day. So that's what we want to know. But, of course, these weather people, nobody ever holds them accountable. They make a lot of money. They're on TV every 5 minutes. I get 42 seconds for sports. They get 6 hours of weather. When, as I've said before, Bruce Martin, you can attest to this. Give me a mic check, Bruce. Let's make sure you're there.
You called me a weenie, but because this is a show that goes over the public airwaves.
Right, you can't.
I can't give you my proper response to that comment.
Well, there's nobody listening. They heard it was me and not JMV, and they just all changed it to easy listening, some cool jazz. So here's the deal. The weather people, whenever you turn on the weather, what do you want to know? Two things. The weather guy comes out there, you want to know two things. Hot or cold, wet or dry. That's all he has. He could come out there and go, hey, tomorrow, cold, rainy, cold, sunny. And you go, that's all I need to know. I don't need to see what's happening in Boise, Idaho. I don't need to see the high-pressure system that's coming up through the Dakotas. I don't need to see what might happen 9 days from now. I need to know hot or cold, wet or dry. What say you, Bruce Martin?
But you are interested to know what the weather is in Vestavia Hills, Alabama.
It's Vestavia Hills.
Vestavia Hills, Alabama.
But I'm from Trussville, Alabama.
Hey, I stayed in Trustful
Exactly,
before.
not
The
far
lovely
from
Courtyard by Marriott.
We don't give free plugs, okay? There's some salesperson really mad because they have a partnership with somebody. I thought that was Ryan Briscoe for a second, carrying a ladder, but it's not Ryan Briscoe. Bruce Martin, longtime motorsports journalist, friend of my Fox 59 show, This Week in IndyCar. You have your own podcast. Let's give it a plug, Bruce.
Pit Pass Indy, presented by Penske Truck Rental.
That's a lot of P's. Right now, we're going to hit a break. We come back, we're going to do a deep dive with Bruce Martin about this 500, about how we start to get everything settled as far as, we're talking about an injury to a front row guy. We're talking about some cars that needed to be replaced or rebuilt. So we're going to break that all down with Bruce Martin, unless you're smart enough to change the channel right now. But I hope you don't. Stay tuned. We're coming right back.
The Ride with JMV.
But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
The Ride with JMV. Except JMV's not here. It's Chris Hagan, who's even way better than JMV. Hey, that's right. We're back. Chris Hagan. The Ride with Chris Hagan from Fox 59. And we got Bruce Martin, the man who takes more pictures and posts more pictures. And every picture he posts of me is horrible. But hey, I got good news. No JMV, but still a nice giveaway. How about a family 4-pack for this Saturday to the Indy 11 game? It can be yours if you're number 30 on the text line. Now, James, do we expect them to know the text line number, or should I give that out, or what's the deal here?
So the text line number is the exact same as our call-in number, 317-239-1070.
239-1070. Number 30 is going to win the family 4-pack for the Indy 11. That's coming up on Saturday. Let's bring in Bruce Martin. That's my radio voice, Bruce. What do you think of that?
You might want to use it on TV, too.
Are you saying my voice on TV?
No, your voice on TV is good. I actually believe they should give you more time on TV.
Thank you. Let's get these weather people out of here. No offense to Brian Wilks. You know what? I think Brian Wilks, like anybody, would prefer to do less work.
I like Brian, but the way they do the weather there is they tease you about, we're not going to tell you the forecast until our next segment. So they make sure that you stay up and watch a few more Indy 500
That's
features that have been prominent on the news this past month.
And they'll do that they'll go to tease on a news story. They'll say, coming up, what you don't know about your hairdryer can kill you. And you're like, well, why don't you just tell me now? And Brian will say that too. How much snow? I'll tell you that in my full forecast. I'm like, well, why don't you tell me? I'm right here.
Tell me now so I can go ahead and.
I'm listening to you. That's what they have, these consultants, Bruce. These consultants came around a long time ago because when I was a kid growing up in Alabama, it would go news, sports, weather. Weather was second. And then all of a sudden, they swap it. And by the way, it's all of a sudden. You say all of the sudden. And I had to correct you the other day and tell you that it really bugs me when you say all of a sudden, all of a sudden. Say it with me, all of a sudden.
I don't say that, but all of a sudden you want me to say that.
Yeah, you got to get it right. We got Bruce Martin here. He knows more about IndyCar than anybody that I know. So now we're going to talk about this, Bruce. I have in my hand a piece of paper. You can't see it on your radio, but trust me, it's a piece of paper. You can hear it. There are 33 names. 33 names, okay? I want you to tell me the 3 you think most likely to win the 110th running. Of these 33 drivers, give me 3. If you had to take 3 against the field, which 3 would you take?
Well, until proven otherwise, you have to have Alex Palou in that 3.
Okay.
Then after that, I'm going to take a Team Penske, and even though I think David Malukas is having a very good month, I just have a sneaky feeling about Scott McLaughlin. But then again, I picked Scott McLaughlin to win the pole on Sunday, and he didn't do that. So there's no guarantee that's going to work either. And, of course, I think a popular winner would be Pato O'Ward. We'd have to see, though, these drivers, Alexander Rossi, Pato O'Ward, and Santino Ferrucci are all driving backup cars.
Right.
So even though they're confident with their backup car and they're set up the same as the car that they crashed, each race car has its own personality in some ways. And if you don't get the car exactly the way it was with the car that you were so happy with, then is it really the same car? There's got to be a little bit of a doubt. I asked those drivers that question earlier today when they were upstairs. And they said, yeah, a little bit, but they've got confidence in their crew. They've got it right. Or this car won, was a Speedway car last year. But you'll never know. We don't know what the weather conditions are exactly going to be like on race day. Today it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
Race day it's supposed to be warmer. I just hope it's dry.
There goes the wieners again. They got a bonus wiener. Which one are you? Corn dog? Okay, then. Just checking in. Now I just got big league by Corn Dog as well.
I keep waiting for Footlong to enter the race. He could win by.
Jazzaline, come over here for a second. Get on this headset for a second. We're live on the radio, so don't cuss at me. All right. Now don't say the other station in town that you're interning for, but I want you to say your name because it's I'm going to say how I remembered your name. Go say your name out loud to people.
So my name is Jazzaleen, Jazallee.
Bruce, you ever heard a name like Jazzaleen?
Jazzaleen.
No, I've never heard of a name like
yeah,
that.
My parents,
it's a great name though. It's unique. It stands out.
Thank you. My parents wanted my nickname to be Jazzy.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I despise that name. Only my family calls me that.
Yeah. So you're an intern. Where do you go to school?
I go to school at Syracuse in New York.
Oh, take the headset off. Go.
Everybody in
These
Indianapolis
Syracuse
media,
people.
broadcast media has gone to Syracuse except for
people.
Hagan and I.
I didn't even go to school. I can't read. Jazzaleen, I want you to, Bruce, I have a traumatic brain injury, so I have a hard time remembering stuff. So guess how I remembered her name?
Jazzaleen.
Yeah, guess how I remembered.
You thought of a saxophone.
No. What a dumb idea. We're documenting this. I thought, where did I meet her? At the track.
Right.
So I thought Gasoline Alley. So I went,
Jazzaleen Alley.
So when I see her, I think gasoline. And then I go Jazzaleen.
Then Jazzaleen. Oh, we're taking another selfie.
Oh, great.
We're on the radio. They can't see.
All right, I'm going to let you go because you're interning for the wrong station here in town, but we won't hold that against you. 33 drivers.
Mm-hmm. Let's pick my pick.
Who's going to win?
I'm really rooting for Malukas.
Okay.
Although I wouldn't.
Is that because he's right over there behind that?
Is he actually over there?
Yes. Don't interrupt.
Because Generation Z loves David Malukas. He's Gen Z.
Who's going to come in?
I think I like the idea that he's so young and he would be making a statement for his first year on Team Penske. I like that idea. Although I am new to IndyCar and learning about motorsports in general. And so in learning more about this, I really like the story of Pato O'Ward winning, coming in second place last.
She's going to do all right in this business.
She is much more articulate than I.
No,
exactly.
but I do like that kind of underdog story, although I wouldn't classify him as an underdog. It's just he's come so close. So I wouldn't be mad about that either.
Yesterday when I gave you some tips on your stand-ups, did you take those into consideration or did you just do your own thing?
Oh, no. I definitely took that into consideration. We're actually planning on doing stand-ups today and practicing. And, normally I do like the idea of going in with the script because I like being prepared. But I think going unscripted, you just have to trust yourself.
That's right. So
and
you're unscripted here. Look at this.
I know. And
this was a training exercise for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on and just continuing to talk to me as I go about my way here at the Speedway.
Look at this. She could run for office, please. She's ready. All right. Well, don't tell your bosses that you came on the radio with me. I'm a dumb TV guy. I'm filling in on radio.
Not dumb. TV guy, yes, but not dumb.
Thank you. So I was looking to fill some time, and I'm like, I already got to waste some time with Bruce, but I'm like, I'm going to get Gasoline over here.
I'm glad I could fill it.
All right, Jazzaleen,
Thank
great
you.
job.
Have a great day.
We'll get you guys on next time.
We're going to rename
you guys
it.
interns as well, right? Where do you go to school? The U? How'd you like that IU game? How'd you like that, U? Where did you go to school?
I go to Lawrence Tech up in Southfield, Michigan.
Okay.
I play basketball up there.
What position?
I'm a shooting guard. I'm actually technically 2 through 5.
Right. Oh, wow.
I can do it all.
Can you? How's your three-pointer?
38% this last season.
Wow. Okay. The Fever could use you. They've been having some struggles with three.
Well,
All right.
Caitlin made out yesterday. That feeling good.
All you guys are good. You guys could get your own show.
Thank you.
All right. You guys be good. Take care.
I'm going to ask Doug Bowles to rename Gasoline Alley Jazzaleen Alley.
Look, that was my idea. Okay. You guys be good.
Yeah, trademark that.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bruce Martin, the future of broadcasting, right there. They're going to push us right out of the business.
I think I've already been pushed out of the business.
Well, that's what you get. Now, here's what I always say. Who is going to be the first one out?
Oh.
You gave me your three picks that you like. Bruce, this is the radio. You can't sit there and punt. We've known the 33 drivers for a year now, and you're over here. Let me take a look here and see what we got.
I'm going to have to pick on the easy, low-hanging fruit and say Stingray.
Stingray. You know what's crazy is, are we off the air? Have we been killed? Here's what's crazy is
the FCC license.
There's always a contender, a big name, somehow within the first 20 laps we lose somebody, and because when you know this, when there's an incident, and there will be, there's always like a and then when you see, you're wondering, who is it, what car, it's orange, it's papaya, who is it, and then when you that realization of who's involved, and that's always, the fans of the particular drivers, it's but for the drivers, instant, like last year with McLaughlin. Just that instant moment of knowing that's it.
So you're asking who that's going to be now?
No, I'm saying that we can sit here and pontificate about who will be the first driver out. We can pontificate about who's going to win. I can keep saying words like pontificate. We don't know. That's what's so great about this race. Media day, everybody's talking about this and their car and how they like this and and then we don't know until we get out there for the greatest spectacle in racing. There'll be surprises early, there'll be surprises late, and there'll be some heartbreak in between.
Could you imagine if it was a big name like Alex Palou, who would be that guy who, for whatever reason, had early race trouble, how that would just turn the race on its ear? And that's the reason why everybody comes to the Indianapolis 500 every year, is because you just don't know.
I like the fact that we get out here and somebody's life is going to change forever. Somebody's going to win. We were talking about this on one of my streaming shows, which I've been trying to pub a little bit, Fox 59 now, the world's greatest app. We were talking about, will it be a first-time winner or a repeat winner this year? And you said you think it will be a first-time winner.
Yes, I went with that.
This is where you expand on that, because we're on the
I'm
radio,
expanding
Bruce,
on
and you
that
start
because
explaining
we have
to people.
guys such as Pato O'Ward and Scott McLaughlin who are certainly ready to win this race. And at some point, they will break through. The question is, there's no guarantees, of course, but I think they're fully capable, as is little David Malukas. That's a guy that could win this race.
He came in second in the Grand Prix, and did he come in second here last year in the 500? Am I making that up?
He ended up being scored a second because Marcus Ericsson
Right.
got disqualified and, punted to the back.
Well, that's the interesting nature of this thing, is that so many people have been like we talked to Ferrucci a little bit earlier in his 7 starts, how he's just been near the front, and you're like, is he always going to be a top 10 guy, or is he going to be a guy that breaks through and wins it?
Well, here's the thing. I think that sometimes you promote a streak, and it's like he's finished in the top 10 of every Indy 500. Well, it's almost like you kind of get the feeling like when the field goal kicker comes in and he hasn't missed one all year, and the announcer on Fox or CBS says, he hasn't missed a field goal all year. Boom, wide left.
I had money on a basketball game. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a basketball game, and the team I had bet on, the guy literally said, I think it might have been Michigan, and he said, the Wolverines have made 22 free throws in a row. Doink.
Yep.
Doink. Hey, I got a very special surprise for us all. I think we got a caller on the line that's going to chime in. John Michael, are you there?
Yes, I am here, Chris Hagan of Fox 59.
John, thanks for joining me on the ride. Did you listen to any of the show that has transpired before this moment?
I did. I think you already had more race drivers on, more participants than I have all week long. That's well done out of you.
Well, you know, sometimes in life there's a happy accident. I knew I had to be out here for media day, and I was like, you needed somebody to jump in, and I said, well, can we do it from the track? And so we did it from the track, and I guarantee you we don't have any of these drivers without the work of Susie Elliott and her staff out here.
Shout out to Susie.
They've been great about bringing us drivers just one after the next. There's the lovely Lars Steele. They've been bringing us drivers one after the next, and I said to James, I'm like, if I was in studio, we don't have any of these drivers.
So no doubt. I heard Pato. Pato was good, and Pato was out yesterday. 2 days ago. I'm sorry. Or was it yesterday? It was, yeah. No, it was 2 days ago. He was out with Jake at a Kroger over in Speedway. And did you know that I have Pato shirts that I bought from Goodwill in Nora? I have 2 Arrow McLaren shirts. And, well, I bought 2 Arrow McLaren shirts for Blake that I saw on the rack at Goodwill in Nora about 3 months ago. And I got home, Chris, and Pato's name is stitched into the collar, into the tag on the back.
So they might have been his shirts.
Well, they were, because Jake asked him, and he came on the air and he said, "Yeah, I take all my old clothes. I take it to the Goodwill in Nora." So that's exactly how I got it. I have 2 of Pato O'Ward's Arrow McLaren shirts. from
shout
years ago.
out to the Goodwill in Nora and for Pato for making those available. I know you're going to take the reins here of the show since it is indeed your show, but I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you heard talking to Santino Ferrucci, but have you seen him sporting the Evel Knievel outfit and helmet?
That is so badass. Seriously.
I know you and I are the same age, and so I was telling him, I was like, man, I had this crank-up Evel Knievel doll, and it wouldn't be like the commercial Evel Knievel that I had. He would never go more than 3 feet without crashing or flipping.
Well, and your knuckles would grind in the pavement when you were doing it, too. Yeah,
you'd have bloody knuckles to watch Evel Knievel go 12 inches and just explode. But, seeing that brought back instant memories. And we had, since I'm going to pass it over, I'm going to give props to who we had. We had Rinus VeeKay, Kyffin Simpson, Conor Daly, Pato O'Ward, Santino Ferrucci, and the lovely and talented Bruce Martin, who is here with me now. So before we pass it over to you, like they do the Olympic torch, John, is there anything you would like to ask me or Bruce Martin before I go over there and refill my Coke Zero?
When Bruce Martin uttered, when he was uttering the term "win this race," that was a part of what he just said. I immediately thought Eddie Murphy and Delirious in his impression of Elvis.
We're going to win this race.
We got to win this race. And I don't know why I immediately went there, but when he said that, that's what I thought of. The '83 comedic classic, Delirious with Eddie Murphy. Well done.
Now we're just delirious. So that's why
that's got much less juice to it right there, Bruce. You should have just left it with we got to win this race.
Yeah, we got to win this race.
And that reminds me of also he dovetails into lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink.
He also does a lot of other stuff can you imagine some of that stuff and how that would not go down today?
My God.
Just amazing. He and Richard Pryor were the absolute best, and Eddie Murphy was great because a lot of what he did was based upon how Richard Pryor came across, too. It was just perfect for the time.
It was the golden age, and we were lucky enough to grow up in it.
We
Hey,
were.
John, I'm going to go back to the Fox 59 studio and get ready for my 6 o'clock sportscast, and then I will begin hydrating for Carb Day tomorrow because it's an event unlike any other.
Yeah, they caught me in the hallway and said, hey, be sure to pace yourself tomorrow, okay? Because I've got to start early in the morning with Hammer and Nigel. I said, I am well aware of the pacing.
So that goes, what time is that show?
We go from 10 until noon tomorrow with Hammer and Nigel and me on 3 stations, and then I come back at 3. And they're worried about me coming back at 3.
I think you can guess what time I'll be showing up, John.
Yes. No, right at 3 o'clock, you better. And you're going to bring what's her name, the anchor, right? What's her name?
Well, if you can say her name, maybe she.
I can't remember why. I'm sorry. She was out with us once.
Chelsea Helms.
Chelsea Helms. Yeah, you got to bring Chelsea out there.
I did talk to her. She is going to be out here for her her CBS 4 duties, but she said she will come over and make an appearance on the big show.
There you go. Well done.
And how about between now and then you write down her name so when she walks up, you'll
I'll
know
have
what
it
is.
memorized by the time she comes on tomorrow. But 3 o'clock tomorrow, Hagan, for you.
All right, JMV,
Thanks,
we're going to turn the show back over to him. For Bruce Martin, I'm Chris Hagan. Thanks for listening to us, and now the real show will truly begin. John, it's all yours.
Hey, John here for Love Heating and Air, a Heil dealer, 317-353-2141. That's John and Chris Love, making sure that you are cool and comfortable. You really can't tell right now. I understand that, but here, consistently, you're going to want to make sure you are cool and you are comfortable in your home. So size up the system right now, or better yet, have somebody like Ron, just an elite level technician, check out your system and make sure it's good to go. And if you need a repair, this is great timing because you can say, hey, I heard that JMV has a deal for me. Say you heard this on this show, and you'll get $144 off any repair with Love Heating and Air, a Heil dealer at 317-353-2141. It really is incredible timing. We're all going fast in the month of May, but don't get going too fast to where you forget about the essentials. And this going into the summertime is it. 317-353-2141. Again, mention my name at love-hvac.com today.
The Ride with JMV.
I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Anunoby has one more foul shot.
Try to compose yourself when the Pacers hit this game winner.
All right. He made the second. It's a 2-point game. Bring it the length, fellas, and hit a three. 2-point game, 6 seconds to go. Halliburton driving. He's in the lane. He nearly lost it. He backs up and unloads a three. Oh! That did not happen! It hit the back of the rim. It popped high into the air, and it dropped gently through the net. The scoreboard shows 125-125. It's called a 2-point shot.
Mark Boyle, Eddie Gill, and 365 days ago, I had an incredible sports arousal, just like all of you did. That game one, Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks, 1 year ago. How about that? I know that we live in this world where if you don't win it all, then you're the first loser. My ass. That team was awesome. I will celebrate that team, and that doesn't make me soft in the least. If you don't recognize it for what it is, you're the one that's soft. Seriously. If anybody ever says, well, they didn't win a title and it really doesn't matter, that's why you guys are so soft, that is because a soft person is telling you that. I mean, a fluffy, soft-ass person is telling you that. Because that, like most everything else, with the exception of the Achilles injury, was awesome. I can't get enough of that. So I take my mom to the doctor's office today down in Bloomington. I'm watching that in the doctor's office. I'm right in the room, and she's trying to tell me about something, and I don't know, something from 1987, and I'm watching this. It was awesome. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. That's still going to go down in history as my favorite team of all time. Just will. Because it delivered moments, not a championship, but moments just like that. Made it great. All right, James, quick one. We shall return. Shout out to Chris Hagan for the first couple of hours, my brother. I appreciate that more than you know. I hauled ass to get back from Greene County in time to join you guys for the last hour, 15 or so. Ed Carpenter is going to join us coming up here in the 5 o'clock hour. Smashing Pumpkins tickets, I believe, coming up here in the 5 o'clock hour. Carb Day, I'll explain to you what we're going to do. I don't give a fat crap about the rain. And here's how you can tell it's still going to be great, is when my boss said, hey, can you promise me you're going to pace yourself? And if you end up in the media center, you can't drink up there. That's the advice I got. So I know it's still going to be great. I'm not worried about anything. And I also have stuff for you. I have stuff for you with the shop, because that masterpiece has been unleashed. And my man, Thomas, I don't know if you've seen this, James. I know we got to hit a break here. Thomas from Premier Weight Loss, if you guys are looking online right now, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live, Thomas has created this incredible piece of artistry.
That's awesome right there.
JMV sucks. It's cottage cheese. By the way, 16 grams of protein in this cottage cheese. Hell, I'd buy it and eat it.
That looks like one of those giant tubs of protein powder.
I'm going, where can I get that JMV sucks cottage cheese? That looks good. And it's a tank top, everybody. I better see these on race day like stinking crazy. I'm going to hand these out all day tomorrow. And on Saturday night, too. All that and more coming up. You guys sit tight. The stream, the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. I will add a little bit of what everybody else has talked about. The real reason behind the whole fever stuff right now, and the fever can take a lot of the blame, but it's not what you think that it is. I'll explain on the other side. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live at 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Hans, Bobby, I'm your white knight.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
That's new 5 o'clock hour. Ed Carpenter, ECR, the grand poobah and driver, the one-off driver for ECR. I believe he's rocking the Slim Fast gear, which clearly he needs. He's always been that size his entire life. Ed Carpenter joins us in about 15 minutes or so. Yeah, I mentioned to you guys these premier weight loss tank tops with the JMV Sucks Cottage Cheese. I'm going to bring those tomorrow if you want. I want to see those things rocked all weekend long of the JMV Sucks Miller High Life version that you're going to get courtesy of our friends. That's Brian, VeeKay, and Alex, the Brick Shirt House from the shop. They're going to be on sale, the JMV Sucks from the shop, tomorrow only, I believe, on Carb Day. And there is a limited number, so go get them. Go get them. It looks awesome. So a shout out to the shop for that. And they do that every year, and you know how that looks every year. It's outstanding. And then from Thomas and my friends at Premier Weight Loss for the tank tops and the JMV Sucks Cottage Cheese with 16 grams of protein in that, I would probably end up going at it. All right, Fever close out a 4-game homestand coming up tomorrow night against Golden State. They beat Portland last night, but nobody really cared about that. Everybody cared about the fact that leading right up to an hour before the game, that those attending the game learned Caitlin Clark was not playing because the back was stiff or sore or wasn't ready to go. And it was game number 4. And, you know, in that particular situation, game number 5, I guess I should say, 5 of what, 44, I think, on the season. They were going to err on the side of caution. Now, here's the problem. Actually, you can say, too, I would say that if she has a back problem, it's not like those magically go away. That's my biggest concern. Everybody else jacks around with stupid crap. Seriously, everybody jacks around with stupid crap. Hey, listen, it's not like the Fever are handling this great. Don't get me wrong. And they're the ones, you set the table when you work, as you two said, in mysterious ways. They're the ones that set the table for that. They set the table for everybody wondering and the conspiracy theories. I know you're going to say it's not fair. It's not fair on them. That's other people making stuff up. But it sets the table. And as I mentioned this morning when somebody asked me, I said, you do have to be more transparent. And you should. For your paying customers, for those that are coming up there for that very reason. Now, I will also tell you that we have a listening audience and fans here that are incredibly skittish regarding injuries. And rightly so. Is Mike ready right now, by the way, too? I'll get back to that point. I get plenty of time to make this point. This is going to be ongoing, but a lot of what you hear is complete and utter bullcrap. But the Fever are still screwing this up. I'll explain in a second. Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline from CBS 4 and Fox 59. There he is, Mike Chappell. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It is fantastic. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, getting out of my lane with this Fever thing.
Yeah.
Again, in this market, you're skittish on injuries. But if I understand right, they've got this daily injury report to where you can list people probable, doubtful, or whatever the questionables. That's, I guess, my bottom line is, how is she not on that?
Yeah. Well, and
even if you want to put probable, I mean, you just can't miss a practice and be nothing. So they fumbled this. This is a PR problem. It's not a Caitlin.
It is 100%.
It's a PR problem.
Yeah, that was the point I'm making. They set the tempo for all these outlandish and dumbass conspiracy theories. They're the one that set the table for that.
Well, it's the most marketable and important player, not for the franchise, for the league. And she's had all the problems last year, and now this. And I think I saw someone's report that, the one home game she was going into the tunnel to get work on her back. And I think I remember Halliburton had a heating pad on his back at times the last year he played. So it's just don't compound things by giving conspiracy theorists something to talk about. Just come out and say, hey, she's got a back. And like you said, I've had a back thing. I've got a back thing. I don't want my worst enemy. Well, that's not true. But that's the one thing, you don't want to have, because it flares up and maybe it goes away. And, backs and hamstrings, those things tend to linger.
By the way, status report, as Mike Chappell just mentioned, has Caitlin Clark as probable with that back situation for tomorrow.
How hard
night.
was that? How hard was that?
Yeah, you gotta. It's not like you're not going to sneak a curveball past anybody with Caitlin Clark. You might with anybody else in the WNBA, and people don't give a crap. But they're going to give a crap about that.
If you list or whatever, and there's some doubt, then maybe you don't drive from Richmond or you don't drive from Terre Haute to buy. Now, a lot of people already had their tickets, so that's not going to matter. But if you buy a ticket day of the game and there's some question, at least there's some question. So again, this hopefully they learn their lesson, and what you want to do is learn from mistakes. We all make mistakes, but don't have the same one. And man, you can't make a mistake with Caitlin Clark. You just can't, because that's who she is, and you got to keep people informed as much as possible on what her situation is.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59 of the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I know Charvarius Ward met with the media, and he mentioned how close he was to retirement. When you get that close to retirement, does that still concern you? Does it concern you more just the lengthy list of concussions, or the fact that seemingly he was that close to retiring?
But I thought what was good yesterday is how transparent he was. And yes, the concussions, was on his mind. I don't play on words. But what was more concerning with him was he still never hadn't come to grips with the death of his 23-month-old daughter, Amani Joy. That was where even if you take the concussions out, that still was a major issue with him. And it sounded like, and he was very, very open about it, that was really what was preying on him. And then the concussions compounded things. And you can't prepare much during the off season to not get a concussion in October. He might wear a Guardian cap, which might help. But I thought he was very, very open about how he said, like during training camp, before the concussions, he said there were dark moments when he thought, do I still want to do this? And it bothered him all season. Concussions made it worse. So hopefully he's found peace. And I'm telling you, anyone who's lost a child, it's something, and it's a big something, and you handle it different. He had to handle it while playing in the NFL during the season. So he really didn't have that time to grieve and properly. So I think it sounded like he's in a much better place. That's what I thought was the most concerning with him. Yes, the concussions, 3 in whatever it was, 3 months, that's significant. And the next one could be his last one. He even admitted that. But I thought his depression and concerns over his daughter, that it sounds like he's over. He's got Mooney too. I think he's 17-month-old son. So that brings, smiles to his face. But then finally, so does the thoughts of his daughter. And previously, whenever he thought about his daughter, it took him to dark places. It sounded like, you hope that he's in a much better place. That in my mind, that's priority one. Concussions, you do what you do, and I won't say cross your fingers, but that's kind of what you're doing, because he's going to get hit. He's going to hit people. The big thing is I think he's got his mind in a good place finally.
So Mike Chappell, who is with us, it is hard to believe a lot of things, and certainly this. It is now a year since the passing of Jim Irsay today. And what we were talking about a year ago at this time, drastically different, clearly, than the dialogue we're having today.
Maybe as the older you get, it happens how quickly time does go. I mean, my granddaughter she went from a freshman, she's now a sophomore around Roncalli. My kids are going through the Mount Vernon system now, but time goes on. And the fact it's a year, I just think it reminds me how much he's missed. And I just think of all the great things he did. Yes, he was a flawed person. We all are. His were just larger and on a public stage. But they had some ceremony today downtown with the kicking the stigma, and everybody wants to leave footprints. The footprints he left are incredibly huge, and the fact that kicking the stigma by him and his daughters, it's just unbelievable the impact that's had and will have going forward. And it's still the Jim Irsay collection and all that is really cool, and whatever's left of it and all that. But the kicking the stigma, that's lasting. And that'll be there helping people for a long time. So I just remember all the great things he did. Yes, there were major hurdles that he had to deal with, but by balance, he did so much good. And I think his daughters are trying to carry on a lot of that he did, but he's very much missed.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59 on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. It just seemed like it was, even with the issues that you rightly describe right there, so many of them, it was so surreal. And, it was a bad day. It really was.
Yeah, I was fortunate to go to the memorial for him, and it was just a beautiful thing, and with all the tributes and the music and all that, and he would have loved it. In all honesty,
yeah.
So but he's missed, and I keep thinking of all the times, and when I think of his impact with his players, I go back to the fact that 3 players had him introduce him for enshrinement at the Hall of Fame. 3 players. They could have picked their high school coach or college coach. They picked Jim Irsay. That speaks volumes to the impact he had with his franchise and his players.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. He's always kind enough to join us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We'll have more to talk about certainly coming up next week as we get into as well.
You got Ed Carpenter coming on?
He's on hold right now. Do you want to say something to him?
Tell him, I remember up at Anderson University, he was part of having Reggie Wayne drive in, and I think it was a 2-seater.
Yeah.
They drove down 109 from the interstate to Anderson University, and it was the coolest thing to have those guys pull out of that car, and he and Reggie. What a great day.
Hey, Ed, are you on here right now? Did you hear that?
I did. I remember it well. It was raining.
Yes. I can only imagine the people at the stop signs and stoplights when you pull up in that, but I thought it was great. And, I followed your part of the 500 and wishing the best for you, but that was a great time.
It was. Reggie did some cool things. It was fun to be a part of that one with him.
Yep.
All right.
Good luck to you on Sunday.
Thanks, Chap.
It's Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. Well, look at it. Hell, I'll just go ahead and go someplace else for the rest of the hour. Ed Carpenter, ECR, the Grand Poobah, also driving coming up on Sunday in the 110. The greatest spectacle in racing's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You want to just go ahead and steer this thing the rest of the way?
You talking to me or Chappell?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's funny.
No, you're the head guy. Your show.
Hey, erase the tape. All right. Hey, one of these days when I'm out, you have to come here and do the show. I'm assuming you feel that you would be just fine doing 3 hours. If Hagan can do it, you can do it, right?
Yeah. How did Chris do? He said he was filling in for you until 5.
Fantastic. Fantastic as always, man. You guys You guys are the salt of the earth. And I know you're getting asked this a lot. So is Alexander Rossi going to be good to go for the race, or will you drive both ECR rides on Sunday? What's going down?
There's no chance of me driving more than one.
Okay.
And Alex, I believe it has been announced is cleared to resume. So we're happy to have that behind us, and he's ready to go.
Was there a thought initially that could compromise his attempt in racing on Sunday when that happened?
I mean, honestly, at first I saw him get out and didn't even really think twice about it. When I got done with practice, once the weather hit, he wasn't back at the garage, and I knew he was still over there, so I went over and saw him. And I knew that they had to clean up a couple things, but, you know, he was pretty optimistic from the get-go and looked good. So I was pretty confident the whole time, but until you get the IndyCar medical team to clear off, you know, there's some level of anxiety until you get that. But they were fantastic. He's been doing everything humanly possible to be ready, and we've got a great opportunity for Sunday, not only with his Java House number 20, but the Christian Splenda 21 and my Slim Fast car. So we're ready to go.
It is Ed Carpenter with us. Let's just say it, outside of that one little circumstance, right, which is not a little circumstance if you're the team owner, I get that, but outside of that one circumstance, ECR has had a hell of a month. Is this something you feel you guys can still be strong on Sunday, a hurdle, if you will, with that situation that you can be clear? Because, you know, everything was going pretty well for everybody up until that point, certainly.
Yeah, it's been a good month. You know, the cars have been really strong and competitive kind of throughout all of, you know, race prep and practice and qualifying. And I have full confidence in the backup car for Alex. Our team does such a great job building and prepping cars. The car he's going to is actually going to be a speedway car, and then we made a change in the middle of it and went with a different car, but it's actually prepared just the same as the other cars. So I don't think he's going to feel any negative effects of being in the backup car, and is going to be able to hold his number 2 starting spot. And hopefully all three of us meet at the front.
Obviously, Ed, the situation on Sunday will tell the tale of the tape for this year and the 110, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. But let's just say up until this point right now, and if we subtract the incident on the track with Rossi, has this been one of the best months you've had in either recent memory or just in general out at IMS?
I mean, we've had stronger months, I think, as far as the whole team qualifying average. You know, but taking that out of it, I would say it is one of our better months. I think the team came in really prepared. You know, we get so many laps there. You're certainly going to have some days where you're not as happy as others, but the cars have really responded well to changes. They've been strong, and on days where it's warm, cooler, windy, all the different conditions. So, you know, outside of some of the adversity that we've had to manage, I'm really happy with how it's gone and confident heading into Sunday.
Are you looking at weather forecast, or do you just ignore that, just worry about what happens once you guys get out there and things get underway?
I mean, I don't check it as much as the engineers do, but I look kind of a couple times a day. But it seems like it's trending better, you know, not only for Sunday, but also for tomorrow, which is a good thing for us and all the fans that'll be out there.
Yeah, and no doubt about that. Tomorrow looks a little rough, there's no doubt, but certainly Saturday and Sunday, for that matter, is looking a hell of a lot better, which is exactly what you want in this case. But it's weird how the last 2 years have been a little awkward for the weather. And a year ago was cold, so it seems like you've had everything, I think, seemingly thrown at you over the past 5 or so years, haven't you?
I mean, I've been doing this 23 years, so I've seen just about everything other than snow as a driver. But, you know, it's May in Indianapolis. We pack warm clothes and everything in between. So, you know, it's the same for everybody. You just got to go out and deal with it.
He is Ed Carpenter rocking the Slim Fast gear right there. Well done. Now, I like it. I admire it because you're the last dude on the earth that needs it. But I like you rocking the gear, though. That's well done out of you. Promote the product.
A couple of years ago, you would have been all over it, but you're already back to being slim again yourself.
Yeah, I would have been. You're right. I would have been all over it. I just didn't know I needed to be all over it until, doing what I did right now. Now I feel a hell of a lot better. The other thing that stands out to me is you have a great. It seems like you have a really, really strong relationship with sponsorships right now. And we go over this all the time because I like to talk about this particular angle and how it goes into the driving and being a team owner and all that. But is it as strong as it ever has been with ECR, with your group of sponsors?
Yeah, without a doubt it is. And, it's even better, given the fact that all of the brands essentially we have on the car, or all of our cars are mostly consumer-facing brands. So it just gives us more opportunities to do cool events and activations and interact with the fans and get product in everybody's hands. And for the most part, they're all Indiana-based as well, which is special to me. So it's exciting. And more importantly, you can't spell Slim Fast without I'm Fast is kind of the motto of the month. So we're having a good time.
Who came up with that?
I don't know.
It must not have been you because you would have said it would have been you.
The first fire suit we had made when I went to Content Day, when I would fold my arms, it actually cut off the S and the L. So it kind of just happened by chance.
Hey, yeah, obviously, I'm a big fan of Java House. And Java House was with Jake for a number of months, and the product is awesome. And I like getting your product placement out here on this show. I love giving you that opportunity. How's the feeling with Java House being so big in this and then having another coffee brand as a part of it? Is that troublesome for you at all?
It was a bit of a surprise. I think it's probably gotten a little overblown. I think it was a little bit of a mistake and miscommunication. But certainly proud and happy to represent Java House. They've done such a great job activating for the team and the series, partnering at events and really creating a lot of cool things. So that one came out of left field, but I know there'll be one coffee brand that'll be at the rest of the races this year. And, at the end of the day, we welcome competition and we've got the superior product anyhow. So, we're just looking forward to winning.
Damn right. By the way, I don't know if I've told you this before in closing. I didn't know that Splenda was a local, national, if not global brand until you guys had them in association with your race team. So shout out to you for that. You brought that to my attention, and I consider myself like Mr. Indiana, knowing everything. That's something I did not know.
Indiana, Indianapolis is always full of surprises. But yeah, their manufacturing is just down the street from the race shop. So it's a really cool thing. And, again, they're doing a lot of cool stuff. We're actually going to be at a Walmart up in Carmel Westfield off 151st Street here at the end of the hour, doing what we do. And
well, tell everybody about it again.
Promoting the race and the team.
Where are you going to be again? By the way, too, I look for it now. I look for the Splenda because of you and your race team and their association. So where are you going to be here shortly?
5:45 to 6:45, the Walmart in Carmel. So it's like 151st and 31.
All right. Here's what you got to do. In closing.
It's a long ways from you.
Next year, you got to get yourself a cottage cheese sponsorship on that thing, all right? Just letting you know.
You're still on this cottage cheese trip?
Hey, I'm all in, Palomino. Let me tell you.
I like it. I like it too. It's a good additive, good snack.
Yes. Thank you. It is. Yeah. Try this. When you're in, and I know James is going, man, would you shut up? When you're in Walmart a little bit later on in Carmel, go back to the section, the cottage cheese section, and look for Mulu. It is brand new. It was just unleashed in April, I think, by American dairy farmers. It's called Mulu, M-U-L-U. It is 18 grams of protein. It is awesome. Mulu, if you like cottage cheese. And I have no association with them other than it's damn good, brother.
You're trying, though, but I get all my protein in Slim Fast, so I'm good. I'm good to go.
Well done, man. All right, up in Carmel at the Walmart location a little bit later on this hour with our good friend Ed Carpenter on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, go get him coming up on Sunday, man. If you have time to stop by, if you got some time tomorrow, you got some time, obviously pre-race, we'd love to have you.
What time are you going on air? What time are you going on out there?
Sunday morning?
Well, you're going to be out there tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be out there tomorrow. I'll be out with Hammer and Nigel from 10 until noon, and then I'll be on from 3 until 6, so whenever you want to come by.
Okay, I'll be out in the Midway doing some Java House stuff around then, so I'll try to pop over.
Can't wait to see you, pal.
Sounds good. Always good talking to you.
Right back at you, Ed. Thanks, Ed.
All right, see you, John.
Go see Ed. Walmart in Carmel. Stat. And the weather's nice. I don't think it's going to stay nice, but it's nice right now. And to solidify that statement I just made, here's the latest from Fox 59. Hey, John, for Express Pro Tire and Auto, and you've got Central Indiana locations. I mentioned this before. Our good friend Joe Childers is back. He retired. He has been like little MJ. Little MJ is Joe Childers coming back, making sure they have all the help. You have all the help with the absolute best, especially now as we approach the summertime, and you have summer vacations planned. When you're on the open road, got to make sure those tires, those brakes, those brake pads, everything mechanically speaking is running the way that it should, and Express Pro Tire will set you up with that at any of their Central Indiana locations. From something that is as easy as an oil change or a fluid exchange to going even deeper mechanically, Express Pro Tire and Auto is your place. And ask for my friend Joe Childers to make sure you are good to go for the summertime. Hey, by the way, Mike Alcorn is up at Keystone Way in Carmel at the Express Pro Tire and Auto location. Ask for Mike if you're up in Carmel. Just a great group to make sure you maintain summer road readiness. To find that location nearest you online, that's expresspro.com. John here, and turn your yard into a place that you love with the help of Sundown Gardens in Westfield, Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. With new plants, trees, and shrubs coming in daily, you're going to find absolutely everything you need to create your dream outdoor living space. They're stocked with bedding flats, hanging baskets, and combo platters, lush tropicals, and container trees and shrubs. I think sometimes it sounds like I say combo platters when it's combo planters. My bad on that. This beautifies your home, your yard, your property, and that is why it's essential that you get to Sundown Gardens in Westfield, 186 in Spring Mill Road, and Miss M's Home and Garden. That is near me, State Road 135, just south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
The Ride with JMV.
Give me my theme music.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
All right, Billy Corgan and Smashing Pumpkins, man. Fire up this text line at 317-239-1070. Give me 30, number 30. God, I love this song. Crank this up for me, James. The Pumpkins have such an original sound. It's great. Sometimes Corrigan can go a bit off the rails. But there's no denying the rock greatness. God, I love this song right here, James. Good selection. 3-0 right now. I want to see that thing popping. Crack-a-lackin'. At 317-239-1070. Tomorrow we're going to be out at Carb Day. Hammer, Nigel, and I. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan, and 93 WIBC from 10 until noon coming up tomorrow. I don't have the slightest idea what we're talking about. I just know that my boss has said, hey, because you got to go back on at 3, which I'll be in Pagoda Plaza per usual. After that, you may want to pace yourself. And then D. Wood added, you're not allowed to drink in the media center. Which makes me laugh a great deal. Thank you.
As the producer, I got to say, thank you, D. Wood. Thank you.
Nice. Not allowed to drink in the media center. Know it. I just like the fact that they care about me that much. I do plan on getting a little bit loose. It's Carb Day. I get loose if it's Tuesday. I don't care if it's raining. That is what's going to happen. Tomorrow on the show at 3:30, James, Gigi Garner will join us. And I explained this a little bit yesterday. Our good friend J-Law, Jeff Lawrence, and by now you probably all are privy to J-Law's story, but he was having a bit of dialogue in social media with the daughter of the late, great James Garner of the Rockford Files, of Maverick, and certainly around here this time of year, most noted as being one of the biggest celebrity open wheel Indy 500 fans ever. He and Paul Newman right there. So J-Law evidently was having a conversation with James Garner's daughter Gigi and said, hey, I bet you'd like to go on and talk about, father and, exactly what this race meant to him when you were growing up. And she agreed, and she will join us coming up tomorrow around 3:30. I am very excited about that. I am a tremendous fan, as you well know, of James Garner. James Garner is one of those guys that oftentimes you kind of appear one way and you're the other. He was just solid as a rock all the way through. And was incredible as an actor, as an entertainer, as a storyteller. His love for fast cars, his love for the Indy 500. There is so much. I don't know if we're going to have enough time at all to get across what I want to get across. Is that Eddie Garrison back?
He's
Whoa.
back.
Were you in the sun in Hawaii? Was the sun out in Hawaii? You look as pasty. You look as pasty as you did when you left.
Thank you.
I have more sun than you, and I'm just joking. Did you get a lot of sun? Oh, look, Olivia. Olivia always looks much better than Eddie.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
Hi, Olivia. How are you? You got your sunglasses on your head. That's very, very cool of you.
Wish I was still in Hawaii, but, it is what it is.
I can't believe you guys are back already. Wow. I thought you were going to stay for 2 weeks.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
At 5 o'clock. We were done traveling after 14 and a half hours.
Well, hey, did you have a good time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Meet anybody out there? Any stories?
No.
No, I didn't. Just a little time away. Olivia and Eddie back from Hawaii. It's good to have them back. Olivia's awesome. And Eddie Garrison, certainly on this station, is being incredibly awesome, too. His parents, my neighbors, right down the road. I believe your dad was mowing a little bit earlier today, too. Getting out there before it rains again. Hey, that's part of the issue. I bet a lot of you are out there mowing wet yard. Were you not today? Because you have no choice. Because, as the Eurythmics once famously said, here comes the rain again. Good to have you guys back. Tomorrow, Carb Day, as I mentioned, 10 until noon. Me and Hammer and Nigel, all 3 stations, and then me on 2 stations, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan, 3 until 6. And Gigi Garner, the daughter of James Garner, on the show tomorrow. You mentioned, if you heard that a little bit earlier, Ed Carpenter joined us. He's going to join us coming up on the show tomorrow. Going to lot. Hagan's going to be out there. And Chelsea Helms of 59 is going to be out there. And I will tell you, everything is a go and is looking good with our bronze Fun Time camper. Lot 6A. Lot 6A, right off of Georgetown Road. The camper gets dropped by Austin Braun off of Pendleton Pike. He gets dropped on Saturday morning. And it's not too far, James, from where Dave Smiley is going to be in his RV, so I'm going to go soap his windows.
You guys just going to have an RV party out there?
What is unique about this, you have America's DJ, me, and then America's second best DJ, Dave Smiley, right out there in the general vicinity together. Where have you had that before? It is incredible. Like 1 and 2 right here.
Sounds like you need to get him on the show.
1 and 2 out there together. And you guys can join us too. Chairs, blankets, coolers, liquid refreshments, food, whatever you want to do to hang out for the show. The All Request Saturday Night JMV Takeover, powered by Big Red Liquors and High Noon Hard Seltzer, Double Shot Power. We're going to be live right off of Georgetown Road in our Bronze Fun Time camper coming up on Saturday night. More to come. Plus how you can get some incredible JMV Sucks apparel. You can get it tomorrow. Carb Day only while supplies last at the shop in their trailer out at IMS. And I've got the JMV Sucks cottage cheese, courtesy of my man Thomas in Premier Weight Loss. It's a tank top. Quick break. We'll come back. Close out this show and more. A lot of thanks to give the Hensley Legal Group Command Center. It happens. Hire Hensley. Don't go anywhere. It's 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Hey, John here with a heck of a plan for you. Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, markdietel.com. Why? Because he is really good at what he does, meaning he gets the job done with whatever you're looking for, and not everybody is going to be the same. You might have some similarities, but not everybody is going to be the same. Not everybody is going to be under the same guidelines, same timelines. Mark Dietel is versatile to get done whatever you need at that moment, done the way that you want it. In fact, Mark Dietel's the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. It's Mark Dietel Realty. That number, write it down for future use, or write it down because you want to utilize Mark Dietel's expertise right here and right now. 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, markdietel.com today. District Tap, 2 locations, Northside Clearwater Crossing, downtown Indy. I'm going to tell you this. District Tap, tomorrow, before you go over to the field house, you can post up pregame, postgame it there as well. All that you need. We're talking happy hour specials, TVs everywhere, damn good food. You've got live music downtown and on the north side of Clearwater Crossing. If you don't want to mess with downtown, that's where you go for the damn good food, the happy hour specials, and the TVs where you're not going to miss a second of the action. That is at the District Tap. Live music at that location as well. Ask about this as we approach graduation gatherings and parties. If you need a caterer, they do that as well as anybody. Great food for you delivered to your place where you're having that party just in time for the graduation festivities. To find out that and more online, that's thedistricttab.com.
The Ride with JMV.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
County Crows, Carb Day. Tickets, IMS.com. IMS.com for that coming up tomorrow. Is this real? It is real. And I saw, we are saddened and heartbroken to share the news of the passing of Kyle Busch, a 2-time Cup champion and one of our sport's greatest and fiercest drivers. He was 41. This is from the official NASCAR social media platform. And TMZ Kyle Busch has passed away at the age of 41. I don't know what to say. At 41, we just were told this morning that he was placed into a hospital. It was undisclosed, the circumstances of it, but obviously it seemed like it was a critical situation. Kyle Busch, 2-time Cup champion, has passed away. Kyle Busch was 41 years old. And if you're looking up driver, this is what you want in a driver. This is what the driver cares about. This is how you want a driver to drive. And most race fans will say Kyle Busch. Wow. That is devastating racing news. He was hospitalized with a severe illness, and that was announced earlier today. I know we got to get out of here. I don't want you to play any music or anything. Just let me know when we go. On behalf of the Busch family, everyone at Richard Childress Racing, and all of NASCAR, we are devastated to announce the sudden and tragic passing of Kyle Busch. Our entire NASCAR family is heartbroken by the loss of Kyle Busch, a future Hall of Famer. Kyle was a rare talent, one who comes along once in a generation. He was fierce. He was passionate. He was immensely skilled, and he cared deeply about the sport and fans. Throughout a career that spanned more than 2 decades, Kyle set records in National Series wins, won championships at NASCAR's highest level, and fostered the next generation of drivers as an owner in the Truck Series. His sharp wit and competitive spirit sparked a deep emotional connection with race fans of every age, creating the proud and loyal Rowdy Nation. Our thoughts are with Samantha, Brexton, and Lennox, Kyle and Samantha's parents, Kurt, and all of Kyle's family. Richard and Judy Childress, everyone at Richard Childress Racing, his teammates, friends, and fans. NASCAR lost a giant of the sport today, far too soon. It's a joint statement from the Busch family, Richard Childress Racing, and NASCAR regarding the passing of Kyle Busch. Incredible. Devastating racing news on the biggest weekend upcoming in racing. And somebody, by the way, that had a deeply rooted admiration, as you all know, for the Indianapolis 500. Kyle Busch was 41. As I mentioned, coming up tomorrow, we're going to be at Carb Day. We'll start 10 until noon. Me and Hammer and Nigel on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC. And then my normal thing in the 3 o'clock hour coming up tomorrow afternoon. Saturday night, of course, we'll be out, and I'll give you more details on how you can join us. Yeah, the spirit gets dampened with that news. There's no question in the moment. That is incredibly sad. I should mention a couple of things tonight. You have NBA Eastern Conference Finals this evening. That is game number 2. We'll see what the Cavaliers can do after what happened in game number 1, losing in overtime and having full control of that going deep into the fourth quarter. Cavaliers on the Knicks. That tip time is at 8 o'clock later on tonight. That is in Madison Square Garden. Again, the Knicks up a game in that best of 7. Eastern Conference Finals with the Cavaliers. If you missed it last night, the Thunder even their best of 7 out west with the Spurs. 122-113 was that final game 3 down in San Antonio. And not that a lot of you care, and I completely understand this. You have the East Stanley Cup playoff finals tonight with the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes. The puck will drop in Raleigh later on tonight. That is a TNT affair. And they are officially underway round about 8 o'clock. That is coming up tomorrow. The instant replay, top of the hour, trackside once again coming up at 7 o'clock this evening, and Beyond the Bricks later on tonight at 8 o'clock. The Hensley Legal Group Command Center, it happens higher. Hensley brings us to you with just the profoundly sad news that NASCAR legendary driver Kyle Busch has passed away at the age of 41. Joint announcement has been made. And again, as I mentioned, in case you were not privy to the story earlier today, he was admitted into the hospital for what was described as being severely ill. And that was maybe midday a little bit earlier than noon. And the news that Kyle Busch has passed away. Quote, our entire NASCAR family is heartbroken by the loss of Kyle Busch, a future Hall of Famer. Kyle was a rare talent who comes along once in a generation. Fierce, passionate, immensely skilled, cared deeply about the sport and its fans. Kyle Busch was 41. I want to thank Chris Hagan for joining us and for guiding you through the show a little bit earlier. I'm not privy to all the guests he had, but I know he had a number of them, including Pato O'Ward. Kyffin Simpson, I think, was on the show with him a little bit earlier, too. Conor Daly, I believe, was on with him. Santino Ferrucci was on with Chris a little bit earlier today. Bruce Martin also was out at IMS with Chris Hagan. And our friend Ed Carpenter of ECR with all clear for Alexander Rossi and their 3-car effort coming up in the 110th running of the greatest spectacle in racing on Sunday. And again, Carb Day tomorrow. Remember the special time, me, Hammer, and Nigel from 10 until noon tomorrow. That's 93 WIBC, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. I'll see you all out at Pagoda Plaza at IMS for Carb Day tomorrow. Have a good night.